They're like, Erin, no more talking. Oh, just kidding.
Extremely dangerous words from Ashley Pickle. The mics are on.
The mics are on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Watch Along, the third one of the season. I'm Greg Tepper. Sitting over to my right, making us sound good, is Ashley Pickle, who
Howdy.
is currently twisting and tweaking and making it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it sound good.
Sitting over to my right is the college football insider for Dave Campbell's Texas Football, making his watch along debut. It's Mike Craven.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Do you want to give like a lengthy introduction?
No, you did a good job. That was good. That was lengthy.
Sitting to my left, he's the head coach of the McKinney Lions. We're joined by our buddy Marcus Shavers. Coach?
Thanks for having me.
See you, my man.
Thanks for having
joining
me.
us. And over on the far left.
He can already talk. I'm like dying to talk. It's like the longest I've ever gone being
College
silent.
Sports
I don't know what to do with my
environment.
hands.
It's
So I'm just
Lindale, it's
gonna
El
eat.
Campo. Lindale is in white, El Campo is in red, and we're underway at McLean Stadium. Thanks for joining us here on Texan Live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Tell your friends. Go ahead, Erin. I know you've been
Shouts
dying.
Ashley Pickle on. Can we plug Alfredo's for a second? Alfredo's in Louisville.
Yeah, we don't have, I actually thought about that. We don't have a pizza sponsor, so I feel like we can
So
absolutely.
we can just invoice them?
Fantastic.
We'll just invoice them.
Yeah.
Alfredo's is the GOAT in Elville.
If ever in DFW, visit Louisville. Alfredo's Pizza is the GOAT. I just decided
Alfredo's
after one
Pizza.
slice.
So there's advertising opportunities, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. So
Yeah.
anybody listening out there can sponsor 2022 watch along.
So this is a 4A Division I area round matchup. Here
Oh.
comes El Campo. They are going to run the ball a lot with this young man. That is Reuben Owens, who is, by some metrics, a top 5 prospect in the class of 2023, at least in Texas. I mean, I know everybody's after him.
Stud.
He's good.
I feel like when Alabama offers you, it's like
Yeah.
you're a different level.
You're certified.
Right? Yeah, exactly. They're not just throwing them around.
Number 3. That's John Trey.
Oh.
Okay. John Trey Davy. They do have, or Davis rather. They have a number of backs they're going to use, and Chad Worrell's a bunch. But that was.
He's over 1,000 yards too.
Yeah.
I actually saw he's not getting much recruiting love, and I was kind of shocked by that.
Maybe he's overshadowed by number 4. So number 4 is Owens. Number 3 is John Trey Davis. We think this is going to be pointsy, although here comes third down, and the first possession is going to go 3 and out because we've said how pointsy it's going to be.
I saw El Campo earlier in the year against Bernie Champion, and I'm telling you, man, they hit those two out of the Wildcats so often.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Shot.
Oh,
So
Reuben Owens.
Oh.
They had. I
Yeah.
looked it up earlier. If you took away running back throws, they had only thrown the ball 68 times this year in 11
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
And we have yet to mention
One
the
in
fact
3
that
plays.
the biggest. I remember when our guy Chad Worrell, his name is. By the way, can we correct the pronunciation of Worrell? He reminded me. It's Worrell like squirrel. That's how you pronounce it.
Worrell.
Worrell. Chad Worrell
Man.
covered him
Brock
at
coach.
Brock.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Brock in like their second UIL season won a
Yeah.
state title?
Won state.
That was him. So he takes over at El Campo, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's taking over all this talent, yada yada." How it's like, at the end of the day, you got to know how to manage that talent, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you see that.
Like I get it, taking over a loaded
Yeah.
roster, but at the end of the day, you know, as a head coach, you got to be able to manage that. So
Yeah,
he's
you
credit
do.
to him on some of this, right?
What year is this for him there?
Worrell?
Yeah.
First
Goodness
year.
gracious.
So he didn't know who Reuben Owen was before he got there. He said like he had already.
Stop.
He didn't Google?
He
Wait,
said
what?
Yeah.
He told me that he had already been in contact with El Campo administration when the job kind of became open, and then he saw that and said, yeah, I can work with
Are
that.
you kidding me?
He said, Pickle, you know me, I'm not much on social media. I don't do all that.
Which is true. It's kind of like when Bob Stoops, when Baker Mayfield showed up on campus at OU, and Bob Stoops didn't know who he was, and then quickly realized.
So,
That's fumble number 2. They got
Fumble
him
number
back,
2.
but second time putting it on the floor there.
playoff jitters. It's an area round matchup. This is the round that El Campo got knocked out in last year. They lost to Kilgore.
Can we bank at Brock and not being a part of DFW conversation for later
Oh,
on?
yeah. We got a whole halftime talk about where
Perfect.
DFW is and isn't.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jordan Jenkins, I guess I didn't realize the game was being played at
And McLean?
McLean.
Yeah.
That's true.
I wonder if he's got to be there.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, for Lindale? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Just go outside his dorm and around. Good play.
Yeah, because they don't.
They
leave
found a
probably
way.
till tomorrow.
Brett Maya on the
They're out of
tackle.
town. They're at Kansas State this
They've
week.
given
so
Owens the ball from the
That's
quarterback
right.
position,
Yeah.
handed it to him, thrown it to him, Every way you can give somebody the football in the first drive, they've done it.
If you got the guy, then
Yeah, why not?
I guess you go for it. Did they pick up the first?
But to
Where's the yellow line?
We're working on that
I
for
know.
Texan Live.
should I
by the way.
should I go
I
over
was
there
looking for
and
Oh,
where's my lightsaber?
Oh,
Trouble.
They're
got-
so
man.
quick.
You can't lose the edge against him, and
No.
he's gone.
Goodness gracious.
Well, and to fill everyone in,
Points
what we
he
were
made.
talking
You said he
about
was
Creighton
good.
before was Lindale. For those that don't know, Lindale had the guy last year in Jordan Jenkins, who's now at Baylor, redshirted, right? Like right this year. But he was the one that led him to the state title stage where they ran into the buzzsaw that is Argyle.
Okay, I got
Playing for the great Justin Johnson, by the way. Up there at Baylor, running back coach.
the Baylor running backs coach. Their running backs have been pretty good. So obviously
Ballin'.
great coaching.
Great coaching. Great coaching. Exactly
Hey,
right.
how about McGuire?
Yeah,
How about
at Tech. That's
McGuire?
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I was stoked for him.
Here comes.
I feel like
Start.
a Joey McGuire FaceTime might happen tonight.
I don't know.
They can probably make
I mean,
that
there's no
happen.
telling.
Look,
with,
I know we can make that happen.
Listen.
Yeah, not
I
with
don't know
that.
if
Where's my-
it's
not with that
career
attitude.
Ted,
move
Ted,
or-
where's my camera? Is that it?
Yeah.
Meet me at camera 2.
I don't know if that's an awesome.
There's
career
no
move for
telling
Joey
what's
McGuire,
gonna
but
be in store
find out.
tonight with
The night
me.
is young. This could be a long night with a lot of points. So, Campo goes
I
down,
dig it.
scores on their opening drive. These are two teams that the offense is definitely the best part of their team. But Lindale is one of those teams that they finished the regular season 6-4, but are like very clearly playing their best football right now.
Yeah.
And just super hot. You don't want to run into them.
But that's how it was last year with Chris Cochran and his guys. I mean, they just kind of got hot at the right time, which is
going to the title game.
yeah.
Ruben Owens also plays
Which
both
is
ways,
key.
so just be prepared
Oh.
for him. Yeah, he plays both ways. He comes out on defense.
Because of course he does.
Yeah.
Can I try to sell a subscription real quick? By the way, if you like this kind of stuff, you can watch games all season at TexanLive.com. We're giving you the first taste for free in hopes of getting you hooked on watching high school sports. So, TexanLive.com. Marcus Shavers likes Texan Live. I'm putting words in his mouth.
I'm a subscriber.
Yeah, you literally.
He's subscribed.
I've subscribed.
Does he?
Let me ask, when's the last time you watched a game like this? In the sense of, like,
Not
it's
scouting.
not scouting.
Yeah.
You have no skin in the game. Like, I don't know if you know anything about either of these programs.
No, I don't know when. I don't know if I ever have, to be honest with you. Just gone to the game without any connections or not knowing anything about the team or being somebody that we've played before. Totally random. And then I got some advice, no advice from Matt. He said, "Hey, are you doing the watch along?" I said, "Yeah."
Matt Stepp.
Yeah, Step. I said, "Hey, you got any advice for me?" Because I thought it was like a come on here and like Gary Patterson, drawing up plays. I need to know what they're
Like
running.
an analyst. You got to be like our analyst.
Oh.
You got to.
Brent Maya.
Oh,
on the
my
return.
Lord.
Okay.
Oh, good return.
Hashtag
Wait,
pointsy.
wait.
Good field position.
Brent Maya.
Yeah.
What year
he
is
said,
he?
"You're watching football with friends."
That's exactly it.
That's what he said. You're watching football
Come
with
here,
friends.
Talk a little ball, eat some pizza.
Watch football with friends.
I mean, I came for the free food, but
I don't know why you
Things got
can't,
someone
Yeah.
got the memo.
Aaron, I know. Aaron,
And
I
it's-
was one who
hey,
invited you.
Greg Tepper, how does it feel knowing you get to spend 4 more hours
I
with
don't
me
know what I
tomorrow?
was thinking, man.
Really?
Sit with me for 4 more hours
Yeah.
tomorrow.
It's like the first one we
love
had,
it.
the first one we had Mike Roach and we had Gabe Brooks 247, right? Good,
Yeah.
good dudes. I also know
Chill.
I'm not going to see them for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I invited Aaron.
I like how he goes, we invited so-and-so and so-and-so. Good dudes. Like,
Yeah.
what am I?
Not a good dude,
Not a good
apparently.
dude.
You're not a good dude, I'll say
a good
that.
dude.
Bad
I
dude,
never
one
described
might
you as a
say.
good dude. Not once. Not once. It's Sam Peterson is the name to know of the quarterback for Lindale, although they take a false start there. But this offense, they started off slow and they have really started cooking.
And it seems like a lot of that was just like non-district stuff. So they probably played some teams
Yeah.
a little out of their, because
Yeah.
coaches tend to have like 2 different schools of thought. How do you sit
Yeah.
on that with like, what are you trying to accomplish in non-district play? You're
Yeah.
trying to, like, play tough teams that challenge you,
Yeah.
get wins, kind of, how do you balance that?
You want to balance that deal out. Really, the best teams that prepare you for district play. And so if you're going into a district with teams that run certain things, you want to go try to tailor your non-district play to see teams that run spread. that run tempo, that are odd teams, that are even teams defensively. So you can get a little taste of everything that you're about to see in district play. And then you gauge that accordingly. Like, you know, you're going to want to play tough teams. You want to play, I mean, everybody that we play, I feel like is tough, but you try to gauge that based off where you think your team is too, that factors in.
Well, and you guys, that first game, you guys opened with from Harbert out in
Arkansas.
That's a good team. Out
Really
of Arkansas.
good team. Next year it gets real though. We go, so I don't even know if this can be
All right, let's
public
break some news.
information. We're gonna be playing in a classic. I can't say who's classic. Maybe
At least a couple.
but we'll be playing in a classic, and I think we're playing Tyler Legacy to open the season. Potentially.
How about that?
Potentially.
That's cool for the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love
Those
that.
kind of things are cool. Early season.
Love that.
Like everybody's gonna be nervous anyway.
Well, and
Might
think
as well
about
play
it.
a big
Tough.
game.
Think about it. He
And
had
the
a,
running back is graduating for sure.
Yeah.
You made sure of that.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they got.
I
And-
checked his
Sure they
I checked his
got-
form.
and keep in mind,
Sure they got another on JV
and
just
keep in
waiting
mind
to get
the number
after
of sophomore starters he had this year.
it. Yeah,
Next 2 years, you're gonna have some
4th
fun,
and
man.
1.
we're excited about it.
They may be. This is definitely too short to punt, and never punt. But
And
Never
never
punt.
kick a field goal from 51 yards in high school.
yeah, 51 in high school is. If you got that, then we would.
Under 2 yards, you go for it every
If you
time,
have
no
that,
matter
you
where
might
you
need
are.
to
on
go
the
straight
field.
too.
Quarterback power.
Oh,
You got
get
it
in
though.
there.
So I have a question about this. So what happened? You said that you go for 2.
Yeah.
You go for it every single time. It's only
Yeah.
2 yards. When they were kicking an extra point earlier, there was an offsides on Lindale, so it got moved up to 1. Why don't more teams just go for 2?
I don't know.
Anytime you get an extra
Yeah.
yard, like why not?
Yeah.
Just, you got the best
Yeah.
player on the field, right?
Yeah, that's what analytics said. Is if you have an opportunity to get 2 points with 1 yard, you go take that opportunity. It's just a really good,
Right.
you know.
It's like coaches have made the decision they're
Probability.
going to kick the extra point.
Yeah.
And so like the flag happens and it's like, oh, we'll just keep the
I
extra
think
point.
my fear, it's happened to us once because I remember going in and hearing that like in college football saying, man, anytime you have an opportunity to score 2 points with 1 yard, you do it. So I was thinking, well, you know what? If we ever get an offsides extra point, we're going for 2, be ready. And it happened. And everybody's like, Coach, 2. And I'm like, nah, let's just go 1. Because you don't want to not get the easy freebie.
Okay.
Especially early in the game.
But how many?
It's 7-0. You know, momentum's a big deal. If you go out there and go for 2, don't get the 1 yard. Everybody's sad on the
That's
sideline.
the thing. For
Momentum.
me, from in a high school perspective, I'm a big man. I told you this a lot on the air.
Yep.
Momentum's not my word, but confidence absolutely is. And
Not a fan of
Okay.
momentum.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't
but
love the
okay,
concept of
no.
momentum.
It's much like
Really?
gambling.
Are we gonna fight?
Hey,
No.
it's
No,
much like
we're not
gambling.
gonna fight.
Hey,
You want
hey,
none.
listen.
Sam Peterson. Sam Peterson.
Oh, he in. He in.
All right.
Wow, we got a ball
Touchdown.
game.
All right. So that's 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
Can we wait to the second quarter to start fighting each other?
Yeah,
Sam
I know.
Peterson.
Okay, so
I'm not fighting.
I mean, Shavers, I'm ready to go at any
I'm
time,
not
man.
fighting.
Oh my God! And I know how that would
Don't
end.
worry about the cannons.
And Craven
Pickles got her
just met
kicks on
Shavers,
and
and
she's
he
ready
knows
to
how
rock.
it would
Yeah.
end.
I
Pickles
believe.
ready to rock.
I do believe in momentum, but I'm curious why you're against it.
Okay,
I'm not-
okay.
he doesn't
wait,
or
time
why
out,
you're a
time out, time out. It's kind of like
non-believer.
gambling, right? You got $50.
Yeah.
I'm not a gambler. My husband is.
Okay.
Love you. I'm of the mindset of if I have $50, why would I chance losing it? Whereas he thinks, well, what if we put what if I could double that?
Right.
Like I could double it. Whereas I think more so in terms of so it's like again, like if you miss
Glass
the
half empty, Aaron.
But okay,
Right.
but like you mentioned, if you go for 2 and you don't get it, it swings momentum the other way. But
true, yeah.
but if you get it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
gives you that.
It does,
and it
but I
kicks
think-
them down a notch. So it's much like gambling.
Yes.
Are you a gambler?
Okay. Here's what I would say.
I like slots.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Or a penny
We're talking
slot.
about one positive play or one negative play leading to another positive play or negative play.
Yes.
What I would associate that with, especially at the high school level, maybe less so in the NFL because I think they're professionals and they've been through the ringer before. What I would associate that with is kids suddenly getting tense and being unconfident, losing their confidence in their ability. So I think we're saying the same thing in a different
we are.
way.
And
we
it's
are.
not glass
We
half-
are.
it's not glass half
And you
empty.
believe in that?
It's-
What
I
you're
think-
just saying that that can happen? Yeah.
I think if you score and then you get an onside kick right
Yeah.
then, Like, your guys are hyped up,
Stoked.
and they are a lot more likely to go out and get a positive play.
And so for me, it's not glass half empty. It's just playing it safe.
Oh my
I play it
goodness!
safe, right?
Oh my
Trouble.
goodness!
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I play it
Decorous
safe.
Ward on the return.
OMG.
What's the hashtag for tonight?
Pointsy.
Pointsy.
Hashtag
Decorous Ward takes the ensuing
We'll talk
kickoff back.
hashtags here in a sec
Wow.
because last week's at your game I thought was an actual team hashtag. Apparently he made it up and we were just rolling with it.
Oh, Maximum Bears?
Maximum Bears. I thought it was like a team. Like I thought it was
Man.
actually the program's hashtag.
Oh,
and it was
no,
like,
no.
oh no, it's one that like Greg Tepper literally came
You
up
got to be
with
Yeah, I
giving
put
away
it in my
special
room.
in the
team
shower
touchdowns in a
and
game.
we're like rocking with it.
I was about to
All
say,
right.
all week they've been probably saying, don't kick it to number 4,
Yeah.
don't kick it to number 4, and then they don't, and it's still a touchdown coming back.
Decorous Ward.
The poor kicker.
Man. Okay. We are off and running.
What's the
on DC
over-under?
Watch Along. Tell your friends to get the Facebook.
What was
Yeah.
the over-under?
That is not something we're going to talk about with the microphones on, Michael.
I saw a
Don't-
line.
How many total
No,
points
it
are
is a
going to be
computer
scored?
projection,
Tip.
Michael.
Right. Did the computer
What's that?
project?
Total
We are
points
Bally now,
tonight.
right? Just kidding.
I think it's going to take 49 to win this game.
No, I'm asking you total amount of points scored in the game
I don't know.
between both teams.
I don't know.
I would set it at
Just-
an 85.
85.
All right, well,
Ooh,
that's
ooh.
Mike Craven.
There you
Okay,
go.
hold on.
Do you have a pen? Can we record?
Yeah,
Because I just,
no.
It's for no wager.
and I asked
For
him if
no
he was, I
wager.
asked,
Entertainment purposes.
and I asked
Entertainment
him if he was a
purposes
gambler.
only.
Purposes.
Hey,
We're
remember
just
when I asked
total
Schaefer if
points.
he was a gambler?
Yeah.
We
we're
are
finding out.
asking
Total
for a
points.
notepad to
You know
write
how
down
you can tell
over-unders.
Erin's TV prep
Hey.
is that she buzzed the lens.
Yeah.
She's
It's all-
like, let me tell you, people.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
like to talk to you, not
with
just
the
at
with
you.
the with the renter,
Oh, you're the
Right?
winner.
Wait.
your
We gotta do our
mentor.
So Schaefer's and I have mastered the Rick Renner point.
I don't know about master. I don't know about master.
That's a.
I'm not saying. I'm,
try-
just
I've tr-
saying.
I've
I feel like
tried it.
I've mastered the.
I definitely feel
but I've
like
also
you've
worked with
mastered
Rick
it.
for like 20,000 years, so I
You
feel
should.
like I could do it in my sleep at
You've
this point.
you've seen it
Done
enough.
Yeah.
years.
Onside kick right here.
Just take the will out of them.
Momentum.
Momentum. It's gonna be a long night. for Mike.
Oh, play it
I'm
safe.
not-
Hartigan over here is
All
like,
right.
Long
no.
night.
You got my back,
Everyone's
right?
afraid
Aaron?
of the deep guy. Like, it's very clear. Although the up men have gotten
Yeah.
some good yardage. All right.
How-
So here's the thing for Lindale. It's like, all right, like
So-
you've had given the ball twice. They've scored twice. You've had the ball once. You've scored once. Like, stick to your game plan. Whatever you know. There's no need to go crazy and be like, oh, we got to start throwing or anything.
How?
Second drive right here, where the ball's gonna start on at least the minus 40-yard line, right?
Cochran's
Why
been there
not
since what, 2017?
Onside kick more.
Look, you're preaching to the choir,
Hey,
here, man. Look,
hey,
buddy,
go
I am,
for 2
It's twice.
onside.
I do agree with that. I do agree with
I'd
that.
be interested in seeing what the average starting field position is for either team when it's all said and done.
If you're
But
going to
even
do the
like,
short
it's,
pooch
if
thing,
you're
Yeah.
gonna sky kick it
Right.
right there anyway.
Right. No, I'm absolutely with you. I don't understand why more don't do that.
I mean, I know why. It's because I
I
think,
know why.
I think most coaches are inherently conservative in their play calling.
Correct.
Because they are afraid of the negative consequences instead of thinking about the advantages of the positive consequences, right?
Right.
Which is
That, like,
false, though. That's a false
100%.
sense of security.
Yeah.
It doesn't
100%.
exist.
Right.
That's not how things work. Like they don't work in a vacuum. That way.
Yeah.
Where like percentages don't work on the individual play.
So
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
we're saying is McKinney's only onside kicking next year. That's what we're
No, no.
Well, okay,
But we
and-
did have a
and-
good year
gonna
onside
do-
kicking.
if
We were
you are gonna do the
40%.
sky
Yeah,
kick,
we were.
then
We
you-
yeah.
40% on
40%.
onside
We 40% success rate on onside kicks this year in the season.
I'll be
We got a
bringing-
good kicker.
I'll be bringing that up at next
Luke
year's
Watkins.
banquet.
kicks. Is he a senior?
He's gonna be a senior next
Okay,
year. He's
so you
coming
got
back.
him back.
Absolutely, and he is an absolute stud.
That's a weapon.
Hey, I'll be bringing that
This
up
is
at
our
next year's
first
banquet.
kicker prospect.
Ooh.
I had to call
Oh.
somebody the other day and said, "What is the kicker highlight tape?" You know, every position's got a formula to their highlight. You know,
I've seen a
Dude.
This-
million quarterback tapes. I know
Yeah.
exactly the rhythm.
yeah.
But ask-
so kicker, you're like, so do you put his extra points first? Do you put his big punts, his onside? Our offensive coordinator's got a great resource, Phil Dawson. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah, the Browns
Yep.
kicker.
Yeah, he
He was
worked
the
with
long
them
one.
down at Lipscomb Academy, and he was able to call him, and he helped us out with
Nice.
with Luke.
Is
yeah.
Justin Tucker the greatest
40%.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of Phil Dawson, I saw him make a 50-yarder into 20-mile-per-hour wind against Virginia when I was a kid at DKR, because he was Texas's kicker when I was a kid. And it sounded like he hit it with a bat. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh
Seriously.
my gosh.
I've heard he was a great guy.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
As
our
someone
OC
who's-
worked with
My
him, and he
grandpa
raves
worked for
about
the
him.
team, so I got
That's
to hang
awesome.
out. And like, it really sounded like he hit it with a bat. Like,
Golly.
As someone
Golly.
who's actually swung a bat in West Texas winds,
Here
I
we
know.
go.
No.
Hey, did
You
you
have
guys-
Where'd
not
you
played.
graduate
You have
from,
not played
Erin?
softball in West Texas until you hit a ball to left field and the right fielder makes a play on it. Those are the winds.
The wind is real
on a
out
field
there.
other
Yeah,
than
two
next
fields
field.
over.
Where'd you play?
on the other field on the complex.
Erin wants you to know that she played softball at West Texas.
No, I'm just saying, people like I was not prepared for like the winds in West Texas.
We're in the first quarter.
it's
We're
wind.
about to get a buffs up.
I'm here for it. Go off.
I mean, I do try to throw it in every now and then. How about
Oh my
LSC? How about LSC adding a team from Canada? And Hunter Hughes totally said I could travel with the team
Buzz
to
McKinney. Look at her.
spot Lucas Kinsey.
Like, what a pro.
She's a
Finally,
professional.
we have a pro here.
She's a professional.
She's buzzing the camera. She's like,
No, okay, so
Hunter
the Lone
Hughes,
Star
look at
Conference
this.
added 3 new teams today.
Okay.
Central Washington.
Good job. 66? 66? He's been causing a little damage.
We've got,
Ooh, look.
Juan Leal.
He can move
Clean, too.
Dude, yeah. He got-
if you're wondering what the conditions like are McLean right now, it's 57 degrees with a north wind of 8 miles per hour. So it's
like what it's here in the
like-
studio.
yeah, exactly. Basically,
Pickle, where are you going tomorrow?
I'm going to Tyler.
What's the weather going to be like?
Cold.
Okay, well, what's it going to be like in the studio, Erin?
I'm so pumped. Oh, for her game, but also to sit with you for 4 hours.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's probably going to be climbing.
No, honestly, I hope
72
it's
degrees.
not. I hope it's not piping hot like it was last week
Oh.
because I was sleeveless and like perspiring on air. So
Must be awful.
it must be my hot flashes.
Tough scene.
Tough for you.
Must be my.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. Please
I mean, I'm
don't.
getting up there.
Please
Thank
don't.
you. You know what, Coach Shavers? Thank you for knowing that.
Are we getting better?
Oh, buddy.
I mean,
The momentum thing, I thought started off.
first of all,
Started off
I didn't know if I was
all-
going to be able to get another pizza or soda. On the rest of my, it's like, golly, I messed up.
He's like, yeah, that's the end of your soda.
They come back at halftime and like, what happened to the guy?
Coach Shavers had to leave.
Somebody
unforeseen
else.
circumstances.
Just put it
talking about momentum.
Just put a bear here, like just a stuffed animal, like in my spot, so it's not awkward. So it's not awkward.
I will say that, like, anytime you do an interview with Step, because Step's a big dude. I don't
Yeah.
think people realize Step's a big dude. You know,
Yeah.
he was a basketball star at Everman.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this.
kick game.
Right. Oh, we'll get to that.
Well,
That's
I mean,
another-
like
there's
I
another-
want people to see
Yeah.
Shavers, like what Shavers
But
are rocking tonight. Okay.
every time he does an interview with you, like, I have to remember how big Step is, because I'm like, yeah, Shavers is a pretty big dude.
Yeah, man.
Like,
We're in that big mode though, where we're trying to get small. You know, like where you're, like
is
where you,
really trying to
where
get
you're
small.
like, you know, you go to all when you're growing up, you go to like your grandparents or aunts or older relatives' houses, and they say, "Man, you're getting big," and all the way up through college, like that was a compliment, like that was a big deal. And at 30, it's not so much like you go,
Hold
like,
on. Hold on.
Like, man,
Hold on.
you get big.
Like I haven't ate any bread in 3
Hold on.
days, man. What you talking about?
To make you feel, I'm going to pull up our first ever photo together from
Yeah.
2017 coaching school.
That hit so
I
close
bet you
to
can't.
No, he's like,
Really did. I had a
Tell you.
checkup not too long ago. My cholesterol was high.
Hold
I was
on.
like, man, I never cared about any of it. Like, I gotta
Yeah.
start caring about that stuff.
I'm
All right,
telling you,
he
it's
had- no,
worse than
you've
a
gone for
family member.
Lindale.
You've trimmed, man. I got to find
All
it.
right.
Pointsy.
85 maybe,
Nashad
conservative.
Lee on the touchdown run, and it is an extra point away from being 14-14. 4 possessions,
Where was that?
4 touchdowns.
85 may have been too low.
Yeah.
Y'all got any defensive suggestions for these guys?
Maybe tackle him.
Hope.
But here's the thing.
Maybe.
This is one of those things. I truly believe this, because there are some games, and I know you've seen them, where it's like it's bad defense more than good offense.
Yeah.
These are 2 elite offenses that are just everything's working for them, and they're looking good, and it's going to be for a fun game. That's why we picked it for the watch along, Pickle.
Absolutely. I mean, I can give you some stats if you want them.
By all means.
So far.
Please.
Rattle them off.
Lindale, we're running with 62 rushing yards, 44 passing yards, 106 total yards on offense, and then El Campo's going 25 rushing yards, 38 passing yards, and 63 total yards on offense. So they're
Well, they
that
only have the one
explosion.
drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they've got the whole
Yeah.
the return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got 14 points, and one of them's on special teams. So
Yeah, so real fast, those stats brought to us by our good friend Chase Perisher. So
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
you.
He sent me the link to the live stats. So we've got him, and then
Thanks, Chase.
Trevor Bullard and Tommy Yarish on the call tonight. If you get tired of listening to us, you can go to TexanLive.com to do that. And then Dre Matula, our guy down there making it happen. So shout out to
Don't
the Texan
steer them
Live
away
crew.
from us. I mean,
Tommy's
there's
my
already a
dude.
need.
Well, no,
I mean, we don't need
I
any
gotta
more
say,
reason.
we gotta say hi to all these people. We've got 450 people watching us right now.
Hi, guys.
So
Really?
hi
Listen,
to everyone.
listen, here's the thing: is that
nobody
we
panic.
told people,
Yeah.
we told people that Mike Craven was going to be here, and
Right.
they came
Exactly.
running.
By the way, you have hit the over on the number of words you projected you were going to speak.
I'm an
tonight.
awkward talker.
We said 4, so we're
You know,
yeah, we are.
You're
over
like
that.
well over the
I just rather
Like
interrupt
Chandler and
people.
Friends.
I just wait until somebody starts talking like that, right? Just
And this is why Marcus Chambers and I are friends. Oh. Somewhere, hey, Pickle, somewhere William's sitting there going, and that's why Erin and Chambers get along.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at this deal, and every kid, I mean, for El Campo has an offensive and defensive position, right? And in most of these 4A Division I, 3A schools, you got a lot of kids that play both sides of the ball. I'd say average maybe 5. Is that a stretch? 5 kids that maybe consistently play both sides of the ball.
I think that's fair.
So how do you explain the difference between a lot of the same kids playing offense, a lot of the same kids playing defense, but having a way more elite offense than your defense?
I got the answer for
Mike.
It's,
Oh,
when you're watching a basketball game and a guy's limping, and
Okay.
then the ball gets to him,
Okay.
and he just like goes
Yeah.
right down the court
Yeah,
and dunks
okay.
it, that's what happens.
I
right
got
there.
you.
Or
The breathers happen on defense,
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
You're not gonna take a breath with the ball in your hand. You gotta go
I
score.
feel
That's how
you.
you get. You
or
get the
to go back to
newspaper.
That's
your former
crazy.
beat, soccer.
I got you.
When he's pretending to be hurt, and
Right.
then all of a sudden,
Right.
magically,
Right,
he's
a ball gets near him. And it's
Yeah, then it
just
turns
fine.
into a
Oh my
corner
God.
kick, and they're like,
Magically-
say less.
magically he's
It's like a
healed.
9-yard run. That's like
Who do people compare him to?
Ruben Owens.
In just a few carries, I'm Reggie Bush.
Gabe Brooks has T.J. Yeldon as the comparison.
That's not
Yeah.
a bad
I
comparison.
like that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was.
Former Bama,
That's what I
alright.
read. The 24/7 shout out
Yeldon.
to Gabe Brooks.
God, what draft?
Yeah.
He was what draft out of Bama?
I love Gabe Brooks so
20. Hey,
Yeldon.
is this the?
Yeah, send
see,
C.
I'm doing it backwards.
See, here
so
comes.
it's okay.
Ooh, Ruben. Oh, Ruben. Oh, ooh. Man, an easy strider. My
He's a
Goodness.
he's a glider.
That is.
He's one of those guys that you don't know how fast they are because it doesn't look like he's ever running as
It's
fast
effortless.
as he can. So that it just always feels like there's another gear there. Like Ramonce Taylor was that way. That's who he.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson.
Does he have a
was like
40
that.
on file, Mike? That you know of?
I've seen a 100-meter time at like 10:13, I think.
Oh,
And that was before he
What?
could drive. That's before he could drive. So
What?
He can
freak
go.
show.
He can
They
go.
call him the Black Unicorn.
I mean, he's the
Goodness
number one rated
gracious.
running
Did
back.
you
in
did you
2022.
know that's his nickname?
We have
Who's
Black Unicorn.
Teppers?
That's the nicest thing he's ever
Oh.
been called.
Ruben, I didn't know that was his. I didn't know that was his
Listen, you
his
know,
Our
nickname.
viewership going up or down?
I can see it.
That's the nicest thing Tepper's
I can
ever
see
been.
it.
No.
It really is in so many ways.
I can
We
see
have
it.
on our questionnaire they filled out 4.6 on his 40.
4.6 on his 40.
That
I
was at the
believe it.
beginning of the year.
And
I
that's
think.
at
I
what
think
age?
he's better
Wait,
than
and
that
that's at
now.
what age? What age though?
And 4.6 is fast.
Yeah.
They
At-
lie and say 4. Everybody lies
Yes.
and says they run 4.4.
and
You
that's
don't
before
know
he
that.
has proper training
Most
to
humans
run
don't
one.
know a single person who runs a 4.4.
Yeah.
Like
No.
4.4 is flying.
Yeah.
That's why you get to the combine and like you start seeing 40 times and you're like, how did he get 0.2 seconds
Yeah.
slower
Okay,
from what he was telling me when he was 17?
But you
years
and I
old?
were literally talking about this before we went on. These high school kids that don't yet have the proper training, nutrition program, like that's
Right.
just their raw natural ability.
Yeah.
4.6 is just
Yeah.
what God blessed him with. Imagine a trainer getting with him, putting him on a, you know what I
yeah.
mean? A speed coach.
Like training for the 40. Like you're getting ready to go to the combine.
Like that's him just spitting
Yeah.
it off in his backyard. Like imagine
Yeah,
if
if
the
he was
speed
doing
coach gets a hold
100-meter
of him.
track,
Yeah.
like he was just a straight track
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
It's 35 points. We're still in the first quarter. Just FYI. Still.
Yeah, I don't think I was
Point
high
C.
enough. I think I should have gone
How
to
many of your
100.
kids run track?
All of our skill kids. Look, onside.
They heard you. One of the 450.
Coach Worrell, welcome
Yeah.
to the watch along. We appreciate you joining. We
Yeah.
know you're one of the thousands who are watching us. We
And
appreciate
he
you.
pronounced
You're
your last
welcome.
name correctly thanks
Yeah.
to me. Shuts Whirl. I literally
Max
remember
Thompson's
it's like,
watching.
Whirl
He
likes
asked me
Whirl.
what the color of my pants are.
What is color your pants?
Burgundy.
It's color
Yeah,
block,
burgundy and
actually.
then
Max.
red.
No, well, it's a color block is what they
Yeah,
call it
it's
in fashion.
Right. So I just
I'm
wanted
gonna
him
pretend to be
know that. I didn't want to
fashionista for a
text on
second.
I
camera.
was like,
on.
I have no
Nah,
input
you-
on fashion.
Tepper knows more about it. He's like, is that a peplum top? I'm like, oh, what?
Why are you blowing on my spot like this? I invited you to my party.
My wife.
You should be nicer to the host, man.
No, please don't.
Thank you.
No,
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay.
No.
No,
People knows this. When we're nice to each other, it's weird.
There we go.
See,
again.
yeah.
It's weird.
Man, that-
Get it.
Oh! Stay in bounds, young man. That is Clint Thurman on the carry. Man, that left side of that hole, or the
First one
Yeah.
to 60 may win this one.
yeah.
Oh my
Left
goodness.
side of the offensive line doing some work there.
Keep in mind, the winner of this game would advance to play the winner of Little Cypress, Mauriceville, and
Great question.
who
I
is
know it's a great
PV playing?
website.
I'm kind of rooting. For, I love our guy PV. Do you remember Eric PV took Beaumont Westbrook to the
Yes.
title game against Longview that year?
Yes. And he left and went where?
Man,
He's at
So-
LCM.
That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like
And you know,
quarterbacks
you know
should
what
be
he
punished
mentioned? He
for
was
that.
on our show like not long ago. You'll understand
Hanging
this,
there
but he
and
mentioned
see
that
right-
you know going down.
Columbia.
Awesome
Columbia,
guy.
Awesome guy. He mentioned
West
going
Columbia
down,
and
you know,
Little
through
Cypress, Mauriceville
classifications.
tomorrow in Channelview.
You know, you have a little
Winner
more
gets-
control over your
Yeah.
program, and you
Yeah.
you know
Like the AD there, probably.
totally.
Yeah.
And that's why Whirl actually went to El Campo. He was able to be the AD there. He wasn't that at Brock, right?
Setting
I
that
believe
5-year
that
average.
might be correct. I don't know off the top of my
I
head.
want to say it was you know he was able to be both, which is nice.
What's funny is, like, there's been one big pass play is the pass to Owens,
Past the
and
Owens.
everything else, like, it's just been
Run the
exceptional
field.
running.
Run the ball.
Yeah, if it's working.
Nothing wrong with it.
If it ain't broke,
Yeah.
Don't
you know what I mean?
Golly.
I
I,
do like
just
the-
feel bad for the defenses. I do. I'm a defensive guy.
You are.
And I mean,
So how are we fixing this then?
I don't know. Give me some time. Or another slice of pizza.
Give him another. Hey, wait.
He
Give
needs
him.
some-
Yeah, pickle.
Something
Give him
fine.
another soda. Maybe
Yeah,
then
some
he'll
brain fuel.
come up with it.
Oh man.
Well, not calling holding helps, and the dude just got like tackled on the edge
You know
for El
what?
Campo there. I don't want to be that guy.
Here we go. Here comes Mike Craven, snitch.
I'm with you though. You're a
Man,
defensive guy.
man.
So
Wow.
when you're watching,
Robo.
like I get it. People love like
Right.
offense.
Lucky we're on
What is it?
camera.
Offense
Yeah.
sells
Live right
tickets,
now.
Yeah,
wins
they
games.
do.
So as a defensive,
Ooh,
yeah,
there we go.
you're
That's
watching
some
this thing and,
defense right
okay,
there.
cool. Like the average fan's like, oh, it's flashy, it's offensive,
Yeah.
like cool. But as a defense, I mean, this has got to drive me nuts.
It is
Sweating
a little bit. It is a little bit.
Big time score update here in the 6-man ranks. May is up 40-16 on Jonesboro.
All right.
Oh.
The
Holy
number
cow.
one versus number two in the
Excuse you?
Division 1 Division 1.
What?
I'm gonna go ahead and shout out Lance Pickle there. He told me earlier on
May's
in the year.
up-
He said, "I think May
May looks
out
like
of
it.
their classification is the absolute best team out of any
They're
classification."
proving it tonight.
Bigger,
And, oh, my
bigger
goodness.
question: where does Lance rank among the pickles?
Oh God.
Yeah, let's do a
Trish
pickle.
Well, I want a pickle ranking.
Pickle.
Trish is
Power
everyone's
poll.
favorite.
I mean, obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well,
I
Trish
think
is like
that's
Trish is the
halftime
queen.
or
Queen,
second
yeah.
quarter. Well, that was a quarter.
Yeah, that's a quarter.
There you
right
go.
I call him Papa Pickle. Papa Pickle. Okay, this is what I will tell Papa Pickle. He thinks he's the
Amazing.
king of the castle, but Trish is the power
Oh,
behind
no,
the throne.
Trish is everyone's favorite. There's
Trish runs that show.
no doubt about
right?
that. Oh yeah. We've got Wichita Falls, Hershey, and Clint both tied 7-7. Lubbock Cooper's putting a beating on El Paso Parkland, 37-14.
Hey, old Lubbock guy right here. Marty
Lubbock
he was
guy.
at Estacado.
Estacado.
Was Cooper pretty good when you were there?
Yeah, Cooper's always been good.
Yeah.
Really good.
How about DJ Man at Coronado? What'd you make of what he did this year?
Did a great job. Are they still playing? Still playing.
How cool
Yeah,
for him.
it's awesome.
Alma mater.
To go back to your alma mater, get it going like that. Shout out to DJ, man.
I love DJ.
Yeah, he's the man. I
Hey,
was
he-
excited for him.
Hey, he's a buff too.
Is he? It's awesome. Go Buffs. Is that what y'all say?
Mims Amarillo Paladuro.
All Buffs.
No, actually, he was Eastern New Mexico. We tried recruiting
In the
him.
conference.
We tried recruiting him to WT. Never mind.
There's another school that you might be familiar with here, Erin. Some town called Pleasanton is up
Pleasanton.
7-0 on Beeville Jones. Do you have any connections
I feel like I know someone.
there? Maybe
from there.
an all-state defensive back?
Is it my forever roommate?
I think so.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh yeah.
The mics picked it up.
There no, I'm right here. No, it's funny because my TV husband, or my real life husband, now works with my TV husband, and it's awkward.
That's a world colliding situation.
Oh, man, there we go.
It's a.
That's George
goes-
Costanza's nightmare.
Wait, and then
Maybe-
Pickle gets to put up with both of them. God bless
Is that
you.
it? It's an entrapment.
that's-
That's Thurman again.
Oh.
Well, I don't know how to feel when they're both trying to hand me off to the other. Like that's what I'm like confused. I'm like, what? What?
Entanglement, I think, is what
It's
it
a-
was referred to, and
But-
that happened with the Smiths.
It's, yeah. What? Is this?
That's
turned
my
into
son.
Are your sons texting you? Is he watching?
No, I don't know who this was. Oh,
He goes, no.
That's Coach Robo,
All right, tie ball game.
O-line coach at Reedy. He just tuned in.
All right.
He's one of 450.
Uh-oh.
451.
Yeah, 451.
Yeah, we're up to 600s now.
Let's go.
Go.
Woo! Wait, what's the
Let's get
the
the four
record?
digits,
What's the
guys.
record
I
so
don't
far?
know.
Oh,
That's a good
the record's
question.
going to be what we set it at. We need 1,000 people. Tell your friends.
Okay.
that we
start
need
sharing the
Okay.
link.
Hold up.
Yeah,
Hold up.
let's go.
Everyone send your
Everyone
tweets.
share the link.
Yeah, if we get to 1,000, we can like figure something out, you know.
Get another free pizza.
Yeah.
Craven, I
You know?
love
We can like give somebody a T-shirt or like a something, you know.
you. Yes.
Somebody a t-shirt. Yeah, if we get to
I need a
1,000.
T-shirt. I work here.
Oh, that's true. Pickle.
You're wearing a Dave Campbell
Yeah, but no one
t-shirt.
can see that because I'm not on air.
I can turn the camera. I know how to
I'm
do
just
that.
saying,
I'm
you
a
gotta-
tripod guy.
We
gotta
go.
entice people
We'll
to,
raffle
you know.
off a free T-shirt. Pickle goes. I don't even have
Hey,
one.
no, what about our recruiting magazine is coming out soon?
there we go.
We hand out
There
a
you
go.
recruiting magazine.
Which
There
I'm
we
going to
go.
finish tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
perfect.
just to say, it will be out soon though.
Perfect.
It will be.
Which is a good
I
tease
wonder if
because-
Ruben Owens is going to be in it.
I did an interview with a freshman in high school.
Should be, or it probably lose
You did
some
do an interview
credibility.
with
I did an interview with a freshman in high school for the recruiting magazine last year with this man right here.
Right. But
Yeah.
when you
Right,
go
we
from
did.
like
Xavier.
Xavier.
Say
Xavier.
his last
Philsamy.
Philsamy. Okay.
Bam.
Philsamy.
Yeah, it was good.
Guaranteed.
I got to write it. I didn't have
Oh,
to
yeah.
say it.
Yeah, there you go. Philsamy.
He was a great kid, man. Talk about
That's a bad man.
we
He's a
talked
really
about
good
having to
football
interview
player.
freshmen, and he was well spoken. I was real impressed.
Yeah, he's very mature for his age.
Yeah,
for
it was
sure.
impressive.
Especially when it comes
Deep.
to the, doing interviews and all that stuff. He watches the
you
game.
just kick it deep and trust your guys. And
Yep.
they have to start on the 21-yard line.
I don't know, man. I've seen that backfire.
But it already
I
backfired.
got post-traumatic stress from kickoff this season.
Yeah, but it backfired earlier when they did the other thing.
I
Yeah.
know.
And here we are. Let's bring it up and talk
All
about
right.
it. No.
Yeah.
All right. There are people here who are probably high school football fans who are interested because you have firsthand experience of a number of contenders. Let me get your opinion on the Denton Gower Wildcats.
Yeah, really good football team. Well-coached football team. Rodney Webb, those guys always do a great job, especially this time of the year. Solid as they get up front. They will be able to play football late and make a run because they can play. They got a game. They can go on the road. They run the ball well. They play really good defense. Probably one of the best secondaries in our district this year. Ton of dudes back there. Physical football players in the back end, and so rooting for those guys and everybody else coming out of District 5, 6A. One of the toughest, I think, in
For
Texas.
sure. Yeah, you guys go 4 and 6 in large part because you just decided to schedule like a psychopath.
Yeah.
What about? Hold on. What do we feel about Allen? You got to play, and you are an Allen guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wait,
Brandon's talking about-
time out. Before you give your
Oh my
playoff
God.
projection, can we go back to week 2? When Atascocita
Yeah.
made the drive at 45
Yeah.
to snap what was the longest regular season winning streak ever in Texas
Really?
high school.
They got a good
Speaking
football
of
team at it.
PTSD,
Yeah.
let's talk about it.
They got a really
But
good football
seriously.
team too. But Allen got to tackle them. Really good running backs. Really physical O-line. Coached by a guy I know, Ryan Martin, really good football coach, and he's got those guys playing well. Defensive line-wise, as good as anybody in the state, I got to imagine. DJ Hicks, one of the top players in the state, well coached. Coach Hicks is the defensive line coach over there, and he does a phenomenal job with that group and how they rotate. Up front is where they separate themselves, I think, from other football teams in the state. And
I feel like in watching
good
them,
as
if
anybody.
you can match them up front, you got
Yeah.
a chance. And if you don't,
Yeah.
you're gonna get driven into the sun.
tough to do that.
And I think when Atascocita like snapped their streak in week 2, like the same night Allen's streak went down, Ryan's went
Ryan
down
lost
like
to Geyer.
minutes later when they
Yeah.
lost to Geyer. I mean, it was like the top 2 streaks.
Yeah,
Well, that Tascasita offensive line's good.
Yeah,
Really
that
good.
can
They
be
got
very
some
good.
dudes.
And you know what? Credit to Craig Stump for making, because they traveled back up in week 4, traveled back up to play Geyer
Geyer.
in North
that's
Texas.
right.
They
Yeah.
were about
Lost, but I will credit him for having the cojones to make
Yeah.
that drive up twice to play
Yeah.
2 of the top in DFW. You know
Getting
what I
paid
mean?
No,
mileage like me.
That's why you do it.
This dude went out to El Paso last
Yeah.
week. He don't even like El Paso.
Joey,
He's just
Yeah.
like,
Joey McGuire gets hired in Lubbock. It's like, oh man.
well, seems like I got to drive to Lubbock now.
Did you go out there?
Yeah, I went out there
Oh.
last week.
I'm so
Sweet.
pumped for him.
There's an excellent story up on TexasFootball.com. Thanks for reading.
Man,
About because you got to sit down with both McGuire and Kirby Hocutt.
Yep.
And talk
Yep.
a little bit about the job and the task at hand there at Texas.
Yeah, it was
Tech.
awesome.
It's a great. Oh boy. Man, every time-
Craven, I will throw this out there. If I'm Sonny Dykes, I'm staying right where I'm at right now. I'm not going over to Fort Worth.
Here's the problem.
Hey.
He's
with
the man,
that.
because he's
Hey.
the man at SMU.
me
'Cause
and
he's
you feel the same exact
he's
way.
the
man.
man at SMU.
Here's the problem with that. The American is about to change to the point where if you go undefeated in that conference, can you get to a college football playoff? It may turn into how we look at Conference USA now, where like UTSA is undefeated, but they're 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're SMU and Cincinnati leaves and BYU leaves, Memphis, all that,
UCF,
and
yeah.
all of a sudden that conference, even
Well-
if you go undefeated, can you compete at TCU
And I get
or
that.
a place like
and
that?
I get that, but at
you can
TCU,
compete
the
for a college.
expectations are going to be much higher. You're filling the
Right.
shoes of literally like the
But
mayor
you're
of Fort
not-
Worth.
You
So,
don't get to that level without having the confidence.
but
to
right
go
now,
do it.
Sonny's he's the dude that changed the SMU culture, right? Like he is.
I think it'll have to be a Holgerson thing, where Holgerson took that Houston job knowing the Big 12 was coming,
Yeah.
right? Or at least
Yeah.
assuming strongly that the Big 12 was coming. If you're Sonny Dykes, you have to know something behind. You have to have a conversation with SMU of what conference are we going to be in a
Yeah.
couple of years? Because if they just stay in the American, they're no longer in national
Yeah.
conversations. Like they're not going to have a game against the top 5 ranked Cincinnati anymore in
Yeah.
a couple of years.
Well-
And that is going to be the hard part for SMU is they got left behind conference realignment.
And let me ask you: does he get the same prospects he's getting at SMU if he goes to TCU, like the Dallas guys? Does it like? Can he bring them over to? Because
If,
TCU, it's a different
if he
environment.
takes samples with him, he got a chance.
Exactly.
Shad, man. Oh my
If he
God.
takes samples with him, he got a
Exactly.
chance.
It's only 20 minutes.
Baby Shad.
Right? Like SMU for my entire
Love him
life has
forever.
never kept the Dallas guys.
Yeah.
That's this staff doing that. That's
Yeah.
not SMU
Yeah.
drawing them there. Like
Yeah.
nobody ever went to SMU.
Man,
That's
they
true.
got. I
That's
don't.
true.
I,
They were
I
trying
want to
to get
see
out.
that
Kenny
continue.
Perry, Trey
I
Howard.
want to see that continue at SMU.
Speaking of Lubbock, Trey was out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's a so you know.
Big play trade.
You just got to turn those
love
billboards
Haverty.
purple.
Yeah.
Quick update.
That's true.
We've passed 700, so people are sharing the link.
Let's
Get
go.
it going. If we get to
1,000.
1,000,
If we get to 1,000, we'll give away a
Whoop-de-woo.
copy of the recruiting edition, which is not out yet, and we haven't even shared the cover. But it's got Mike Craven on it.
Wait, in color or in?
no, it's the ghost of Mike Craven.
Yeah.
That was the only headshot I could find.
Literally, we were like, "Is he gone? Like what?
Yeah.
All right,
Should
see
we-
you
He was going to be on,
Is
and we
this like a yeah?"
Somebody's
I'm like,
ready to get out of the
See you at the
office.
crossroads,
Yeah.
Mike. I mean,
Because like Tepper has the type of sense of
That was
humor
so
to where
funny.
like that could be purposeful.
it
Yeah.
could be perfect.
You know, so I
that
was
is
like,
very me.
I was
Yeah.
like, what did he do? Like that's
Yeah,
such a
that's
niche
what-
joke
Yeah,
to
Craven's
like,
like,
man,
what the
you know,
heck?
Could
why
have told
did
him, man, send me a selfie or something, right?
I would work here full time.
I literally, I looked at Tepper and
I'm not
I
going to
said,
ask
That's
you.
crazy.
I'm not going to ask you
Yeah,
to
right?
send me a selfie. That
I
is
looked at
beyond.
Tepper and I said,
Oh,
I just
Ruben.
took a headshot of him.
Oh, Ruben.
Ooh.
Pointsy.
Is that
Hey.
3? That's 3.
Number 4 tried.
Yeah, he's sitting
like,
at, let's see.
Give a lot of
here.
credit.
Tried.
But the other number 4 was faster.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, Ruben Owens.
Yeah,
3 touchdowns.
Who's going to be the first team to get a stop?
yeah, he's got.
Pickle.
Oh.
First team to get a
Yeah,
stop.
Pickle, make a call.
I think El Campo will get one. I will say Ruben Owens is 15 carries for 171 yards, 3 touchdowns. His long was 53. He's averaging 11.4 yards per carry.
Oh, that's it?
Folks,
Okay.
as a
He's
team,
light work.
Okay.
as a
Okay.
team, they were averaging 10.7 yards
Oh,
a carry
and
coming into this
yeah,
game.
and he's got 1 reception for 38 yards.
See,
So
they're serious business. So Steph picked El Campo to win the title.
I mean, if you like that
Really?
kind of stuff.
He did. I've got a little, it's like, oh, I missed extra point.
Go for
Does
two.
he
Oh,
have?
hold on, zip line. No,
Who does he have in the?
flag.
Does he have LCM advancing to play the winner of this one?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Matt Stepp. You want to text him?
Matt Stepp. Well, can I FaceTime him?
Matt Stepp, I know you're watching.
he is watching.
Let us know in the comments who you picked, LCM or West Columbia.
Hi, Stepp.
El Campo
I promise I
has-
won't tell the story about the time that I spilled a drink in the press box with you and made a scene that you're still embarrassed about, but I love you.
El Campo has 216 yards of total offense. 209 of those are Ruben Owens.
Oh,
There
cool.
was one other, the 7-yard run.
Cool.
And that is it.
Ruben Owens is good at football.
Hot take. Shavers coming with the hot takes.
That's at Coach
That-
_Shavers on Twitter.
Blow up his mentions.
I do consulting. If you guys
Texas High
need,
School Football Insider,
All
Marcus
before.
Shavers.
yeah, if you need anything, I'm available.
Step, he's coming for you.
available.
Texas High School Football Insider, Marcus
Good at
Shavers.
football.
I want to know. I want to choose Sarah Moral. I don't believe that he didn't know Ruben Owens was at El Campo.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
You calling his bluff? Because I was going to say
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that maybe he didn't know he was this good, but
Maybe.
No, you
why are
knew.
you
Yeah,
applying
he
for an
had
El
to.
Campo job with that? Like, you know.
No, I know he's got ties
The
to Southeast
facilities.
Texas.
Yeah.
Does he? Okay.
I just
'Cause
got
it
some
did
sort of
seem
He's
like
got
a-
family ties
yeah.
down there.
But
Okay.
but at the same
that makes
time,
more sense then, because I was like, you go from Brock to El
Lindale is
Campo.
Literally
not gonna
built
fall for it
Brock
again.
You'd
into.
imagine you know the roster.
Well, when
They
you
got
win a
him
state
up.
title in like the second year as a
Because here's the
UIL
thing.
varsity
On-side.
program,
if you steal one possession,
he's the
that
king.
might
Like
be
he
it.
should have a
Yeah.
statue
You know what I
there,
mean?
right?
I do love when ooh
Pop to the middle. It's rolling around.
Oh, okay. I do love whenever, because look, as you know, Coach, I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah.
You need to
Confirm.
You're wrong in front of a lot of people too. That's what makes it tough because I could be wrong. You're wrong in front of the whole state sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Shavers, you are welcome back at any point.
Yeah,
in
wait.
time.
How much is Tepper loving inviting the two of us at this point?
This is giving me life right now.
Tep, I'm saying the same. We're saying the same thing. That's what you
Oh
just
my
told me. You
gosh.
said we're
This
saying the
is
same
getting great.
thing.
Momentum. It's just like the
We're
Moment's
saying the
just
same
like
thing.
Feels like we're not saying the same.
to come full
What I
circle,
was going to say-
momentum
Let's-
pickle.
What I was
me
going to
let
say
him-
is
Momentum.
coming into the game, I thought this game would be pretty pointsy. Oh, here comes Sam Peterman.
Points.
Is that a real word?
It is now.
It is now.
So if I use it like
not in Scrabble.
No, yeah,
Okay.
not Scrabble.
So then you
if you're
can't
doing
use
words
it
with
like-
friends, don't.
yeah.
I need that in your pregame speech.
Yeah, guys, we
You know
gotta
what
go
we're
out there
doing
and be
tonight?
pointy as an offense.
Pointsy.
And if I get their
Man, okay,
reaction,
look,
it's
I
on
was
you,
saying, I
Tep.
was
Do you
right about
include
it
the
being pointsy.
hashtag, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I nailed that one.
If I ever get to
That's
cover a
all-
McKinney
yeah.
game on the sideline, if
Yeah.
we have a halftime interview,
There you go.
if you're not using pointsy,
I
No,
promise
no, no. You have to work that into the
I will.
interview with him.
Oh,
You will.
okay,
You will work that into the
say
yeah.
less.
Yeah.
Your offense
And I'll
is looking real
respond
pointsy in the
back.
first half. How do
You were saying
continue?
about
Hey,
being
speaking of
wrong a
interviews,
lot.
I'm
Yeah,
so
no,
proud. I'm
hold
so
on,
proud that you
hold on.
almost
Let's
made
get back to
Reginald
me being
Samples
wrong.
cry in yours.
Yeah.
Hey, Erin, let's get back to me being wrong. Go ahead.
Oh, please.
Floor is yours.
What's a
Say
rice
less.
bird, Tip?
Ooh,
Go ahead, be wrong.
Yeah.
it looks like a chicken.
Oh,
Like an
that is
eagle?
degrading.
Like an eagle?
Chickens are like the
A
worst
rice bird?
They,
A rice bird
Is
literally
it
looks
a-
just like a normal
They have
bird.
like a-
Is it a real?
Like a
They have like,
Like
a
a-
cartoon. Like I know they have a cartoon like for Sam
Okay,
Peterman.
well, if you go to
Wait, are you saying what a normal one looks like, or their mascot?
Their mascot looks like a cartoon eagle.
Is it kind of like Iowa Hawkeyes, like the fighting
no,
eagle
it's
type
like
thing?
a walking eagle.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's all buff.
It actually looks like a little bit. you
Pickle,
remember, like,
what
the old
grade
Southwest-
is
So it's
Sam
had a
Peterson?
protein
the old
shake and
Southwest
see in a weight
Conference
room, is what you're
cartoons?
saying.
It kind of looks like they got one of those there.
I got the roster here. There's just no grades on the roster. Put grades on your roster.
It helps me out, man. I'll tell you.
Look
what.
up a rice bird.
Golly, come on, folks.
Oh, I did. Rice. According.
No, a rice bird looks like a.
According to Webster, it's any of several small birds common in rice fields. So, like, well, yeah, that would make sense.
So any bird
In a rice field.
in a
So
rice
again,
field.
So you can
What is
put, like,
it?
a
No, I'm
pigeon
kidding.
in a rice
But like it looks like a
crow.
normal bird, right? Right, Pickle? It's like a
It looks like
robin.
Yeah, it looks like a little
Ooh,
sparrow.
did they,
Yeah.
you rip that away?
It
Oh,
could
we
be
got
a
flagged.
could be
It's
an
little.
eagle
They tend to be small.
in a
Hey,
rice
yeah.
field.
Lin- They eat
Lindale are
rice.
the
Because
eagle.
they
Lindale's the eagles.
Fly high.
Lindale is an eagle.
It's a bird battle.
Yeah, Battle of the Birds.
There you go.
Birds and
Damn.
cats.
Shout out to the
Hey.
refereeing crew right here.
Gotta be
Do
the
anybody
most
know where
domestic.
this crew's from?
My guess is so Lindale and El Campo. I bet they agreed on like a Waco chapter, right?
Shout out to the Waco chapter.
All
Thank you
right.
for all y'all
I'm gonna
do.
guess. Listen,
Stuff
shout
I
out,
love that.
shout out Tasso.
What's
I'll give them
what's the zip code thing Coach Purcell always talks about? Like when you guys are like,
That's like way old. But
is it okay? So do people not do that anymore?
No, they don't. As far as
When you
Oh,
decide
flipping.
like flipping
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
but the zip code thing like it's
Yeah.
like what is
you
it?
still do that?
So people do it. I actually did it a couple years ago with Temple and whoever we were supposed to play, maybe Waco Midway.
So the
How
idea
does
is
it
that
work?
everybody's got the book of all
The
the
directory,
the
Yeah.
directory.
coach's
And-
directory.
Okay.
And you will pick you'll pick a page? Ooh, good ball.
Peterson. Is he a senior?
He's a senior.
Yeah, it's a good ball.
Is he getting any
Yeah.
recruiting?
Yeah.
Peterman.
I don't know. Let me see.
Siegfried's one of the-
right? Because
Yeah.
it's the way
one
of
of his
doing a
top
coin flip over the
targets.
phone.
Correct, yes.
Because you've got the same thing, and basically saying like, are you picking a town or are you picking like?
So if we're doing it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you, if you're the visitor, I'm gonna give you a town.
Okay.
And so randomly I'm gonna say a town, Lindale.
Okay.
And you have to just give me back an odd or even.
So
And if the last number in that town's zip code is an odd or even,
Gotcha.
you win the toss.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So if you said Lindale and
'Cause
he said odd
basically-
and it was even,
then
you
I
would
win.
win.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Because you know in the old days before
page.
this time, you can't do a coin flip because like I'll flip a coin. I say hey heads. Oh, it's heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Okay, so
if you did it on FaceTime,
That's exactly right.
Sam Peterson is
did you look at FaceTime flip?
he's committed to Texas State for baseball though.
awesome.
Awesome.
So multi-sport. Yeah.
Great program there. Craven can weigh in on that.
Well, I was about to say you would want to do that with Craig Way.
Oh God.
Because you
Oh
think he
my
knows the zip code to all the
He
Texas
would know
teams?
And I would think that
everyone.
like you'd have to look up the other coaches' previous stops and where they're.
Oh yeah, you got to do a little
Yeah, you
research.
gotta do some research.
Yeah,
you
you do.
accidentally say the wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy.
Craig would know every
Yeah, but I feel you. I'm like
I can see Craig Way. I can see.
But
But I
And
mean,
then-
still
oh,
though.
wait,
Still, and he's
But I
not
don't know
lying.
if I
You-
would though. I don't know if I know right off the top of my head the last digit in Lubbock's zip code to say odd or even.
Ooh,
I really don't.
Okay, but here's what Craigway will not only give you the zip
Ooh.
code, he'll give you like the back roads to get there. Like if you want like the quicker option or like the like various ways to like get about the town, and then
Yeah.
where to eat when you're there. Like Craig would give you more than you'd asked for. Because
but-
that's how
Well,
he's a
yeah,
robot.
No, the last digit is definitely
From the
7, but then
future.
also the way you're going to get there is Highway 184.
Literally,
Yeah.
give him a town, and he'll be like, "Well, if you want
Like,
the
make sure you
quickest
gotta
route,
stop
take
and
the
get
back highway." And he like knows the, and you're like, "What?"
Well, that's because he had to do the job back before GPS.
Some people still want to meet up and flip.
Really?
Yeah, it actually happened. I'm gonna share this story. I hope I don't get in trouble. It's Coach Bryant. They were playing Grand Prairie. Coach Trey Bryant, head coach of the Berkner Rams,
Correct.
and they're playing Grand Prairie. And Trey says, "Hey, I want to go ahead and do the phone directory flip." And Coach said, "No, let's meet up." So they met at the state fair and flipped a coin.
How about that?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Okay.
You know what?
I respect that. Yeah,
respect
me
Well-
too, no doubt.
Speaking of old school, Coach
do.
Purcell always talks about how how like when coaches kind of exchange film through the playoffs, he was talking about how they
get
used to have
second
the
down,
big
too,
film
Yeah.
cases, like the big
Yeah,
film
yeah.
cartons, and they would have to
I'm
like
glad-
meet in
I'll
person.
be
They would
honest,
have to
I'm
meet in
glad I ain't
person and
coaching there.
exchange them. And now think about it, you send like a digital link, right? You know?
I wouldn't have liked coaching in that.
Do you remember that? Purcell talked about how like at coaching school they would exchange film, like
Actual film.
film cases. Like I mean, it was like.
See, I played college football when we were like exchanging DVDs. Like when we would go home, we're getting ready to play
Yep.
Alabama. I got like an Alabama DVD that I watched at home. You know.
My resume tape was sent out on DVDs. Like, I mean, I don't know if kids even know.
Do
like,
you
what that
still
is
have a
anymore.
DVD player at your house? Keep it real, man.
5 yards, whatever.
Swear I
they want on
You don't
yeah.
anywhere.
I don't even have.
Attic?
Okay,
4 yards is pretty easy to come by today.
No.
that. Yeah, that's
That's
but okay,
crazy.
and you know what's crazy? Like
Do you still have any
you're like, hey, man,
Think,
you saw a
think about it too. Okay, so I have like a whole case
price per yard
of
is down.
CDs with like remember how like
Has not been this
Napster,
game.
like
You still
you'd
got
make-
your
you'd make,
CDs
like,
on your
mixes.
son's visor?
I still have my case of CDs, and like, okay, well, I would drive from WT. I would drive home in the summer so I could have my car. It was like a 13-hour drive. I'd have my whole case of CDs. I'd have my little phone charger, T9 texting, so I could like drive and text at the same time.
5 dish changer.
I knew exactly what I was texting without even looking.
That's why we run cover
6.
zero.
Oh, man.
That's what happens when you run cover zero. Jacob Siegfried on the touchdown catch, and Lindale has struck back in an extremely pointsy game.
Hashtag points you.
We're just
Also,
Is there an over/under for number of times he's
Hold on.
gonna?
we're up over 800 now.
Let's go. Tell your friends to get the Facebook, YouTube,
1,000.
or Twitch.
We're
You
creeping
get us to
there.
1,000.
Back to
we're getting there.
T9. Back to T9. Did anyone like?
Pickle
am
will
I-
admit something
Did
terrible
you?
on
Were
the
you?
air.
Did you live in the T9 era? Okay.
I figured out how to play better defense in this game.
All right, we go to.
I did know
we,
some
we
people
go
that
to
had it.
Okay.
actual professional football coach Marcus Shavers with some defensive advice.
Add a player both defenses. They should be able to play with 12. El Campo, put 12 on defense.
Why not?
And
Royal Rumble.
And we haven't. And
see
listen,
if we can get down and get some stops.
Royal
and you're a
Rumble.
coach, and so I know you will appreciate what I'm about to say. Probably have not given enough love to the offensive lines tonight. Offensive lines out here
Shout out to the offensive
doing
lines.
some work.
No,
Big
they really
men
They're out
are.
here. They're out here.
Yeah.
Out here plowing the road.
Boss Hog. Shout out to our O-line coach.
Boss
Yeah,
Hog.
Rowdy Harper, leader of the Boss
The
Hogs.
Boss Hogs is.
And his name is Rowdy Harper. And you don't think them guys don't play hard up front?
You got to go see Rowdy.
Everything
my
about
guy.
the McKinney offensive line.
Yeah,
Feeling really good about.
it's Rowdy.
Coach, you
Next
may
year we're
disagree
looking
with
for
that.
our offense to be real pointy.
I think offensive line coaches are the best.
I haven't taken a
interviews
selfie yet, so I'm gonna
on
try this
teams.
with all of us.
Like,
The most unselfish?
No, the
Wait.
most like the best interviews.
How is this
right?
gonna work?
Because they don't.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
This isn't
interviewing
gonna work.
linemen.
Very
I do it once
very
a year.
straightforward.
Because they don't have any agendas.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
harder
and they're
than
not
I
used
thought.
to doing the interviews, so they
ready?
don't hold anything back.
Yeah.
So they'll just say what,
Yeah.
they'll just actually give you an answer.
Bam.
The other thing is
That was really
like,
hard.
Basically, like before Sam Pittman, we can talk some Razorback football.
Yeah, go
Like before
Hogs.
Sam Pittman,
Let's
nobody
go.
hired offensive line coaches for head coaches, and so if you're an offensive
Yeah.
line coach, you're like, this is what I'm doing for my life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
like there's like, I'm out here grinding. I'm going to get my guys going. They're not going to get any credit, like whatever they deserve. They're going to be talking
Yeah.
about these dum dums. Going to
I'm
be talking
sorry
about
if I
Ruben
missed what
Owens
you
all
said.
night.
I was taking a
Said?
selfie, but do you know Pittman? Like, was he like? Do you
No,
have, like,
I
okay,
don't.
Okay.
I don't. But
You're an Arkansas guy.
he's done a
Yeah.
great job. Yeah, love Arkansas.
Okay.
Didn't know Coach Pittman. Didn't really know what to think when he first got there. Was kind of on the fence. Just didn't know him. I knew he was a good recruiter, good coach. Obviously, he was coming from Georgia. Been coaching O-line at Georgia. But then when the college coach gets to his new college, they kind of put their hashtag, their brand out there. And you kind of get on board with some. Some of them are kind of cliche. And when Coach got to Arkansas, it was a big kind of laughing, running joke around our office because it was the, yes sir, like that was the thing.
Yeah.
Those
like,
videos
like,
they put out of him saying that.
Oh
it was,
man!
Oh man!
And so that was my first
horrible.
introduction to him, and I was like, some of the guys on staff were kind of like, "Yes, sir. What you think?" I was like, "Hey, man,
Hey,
loyal hog, man." But
Can
they're
I-
balling,
can I tell you,
Working.
balling,
Fayetteville, one of the greatest hidden college football treasures.
no doubt. And I don't know
It's an
how is
awesome
it
college
hidden?
football town.
I've
Is
been
it
to a game
hidden?
in Fayetteville.
I went for a game.
People should go
2011,
to
I think, was the
Fayetteville.
first time. Never been. And it is a gem. You're like, wow. Like, how
Yeah.
had I not? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I love that place because that's where UNT did the fake
Ruben.
punt.
Oh, come on,
oh,
I am a big
Come
fan of
on,
Fayetteville.
Pickle.
But okay, first of all,
Pickle.
the facilities,
Come
the
on, Pickle.
Arkansas facilities blew me away.
Yeah, they're nice. They've changed them. So my sophomore year, I'm up there. No, maybe I was a true freshman at Arkansas. Pickle, since you're talking about the mean green. So my whole high school career, we lose to South Lake Carroll semifinals every year at Allen. It was kind of that run. Chase Daniels, Aaron Luna, those guys at
As
South
a
Lake.
Belgrade, samesies. Go
Same.
on.
You had that going on for you too, Tip?
Hashtag
I
not
knew we
points.
had a chemistry, man. We've been through a
not
lot of the
points.
same
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
There's thousands of them.
we were.
Pickle, I love you.
Because you were an offensive lineman, right?
No, D-line.
D-line. Well, I was an offensive lineman, so
Okay.
exactly the same.
Yeah,
in every
pretty much.
way.
Yeah.
Go on, coach.
You couldn't block me. I don't think you could block him.
Hey, we have
Black uniform.
we have a
couldn't block
photo
him.
of offensive lineman hashtag
block him on
OL Tap.
Twitter.
You couldn't block him. That's it. And I wouldn't want that. I don't want
Hey,
that.
That can be arranged.
But we go, Todd Dodge gets to North Texas my freshman year, and so we've been losing to Todd Dodge and the South Lake Carroll Dragons my high school career, and we go and we get North Texas, and we beat them really, really bad at Arkansas as a true freshman. And after the game, and I didn't even play, maybe 2 snaps, and after the game, everybody's shaking hands, and I had to do it. I went to Todd Dodge. I don't even know if he remembers, probably doesn't. I go over there to him and I go, "Hey, Coach Dodge, how you doing? My name's Marcus Shavers, a Allen defensive lineman." He goes, "Yeah, man, I remember who you are." And he goes, "Man, you guys used to get us in high school, but got you today, Coach." Yeah.
What did he say?
I think he just kind of slapped my helmet and said kind of congrats and went on, about his business and
man.
won a whole lot more football games than I may ever coach in. But
Hey,
golly, I had to get some get back. That was traumatic, losing to South Lake Carroll 2 years in a row, junior, senior year in high school. My last football play is kind of a comical story. Last high school football play, personal foul. South Lake beat us probably by 21, 28 points, and so they put the backups in, right? So McElroy comes in the game. He's like clean up duty.
Are you
Here comes
serious?
McElroy.
Garbage time.
Yeah. So they put him in. He's maybe like a sophomore. He's backing up Chase Daniels, and so I rush the passer, O-lineman, get him out the way. Tip, real easy little win right
It was
there.
like
Doing the move.
Yeah.
he's doing the sweep.
Yeah, get him out the way. So I go get a sack, but it's one of those sacks where you hit him and you wrap him up, but he doesn't go to the ground. And they blow the whistle. Nobody falls to the ground. Well, I'm still driving, and nobody goes to the ground. So lift him up, slam him, flag, personal foul. Yeah.
Man, you body
Yeah.
slammed Greg, SEC
That's
Network
awesome.
analyst Greg
Yeah,
McElroy?
I'm sure he doesn't remember either. He's had a lot.
If you're in the
he's had a
comments,
lot
let us know.
lot of
I
other
guarantee you
experience.
he remembers that though.
Last play, that was my last
Because-
play.
That was
Whoa, they got
Think
the
about it. That
flag.
was his first playoff
Second
experience. It was
round
like
at Texas Stadium.
I guarantee
Yeah.
you he remembers that.
I bet he
Because
does.
that was his first
you're right,
playoff
that's
experience,
probably
right?
His first introduction to oh man, some of these dudes
Somebody
are big.
tag Greg McElroy. Tell him.
We all
Tell
remember
him that
the.
Marcus Shavers wants to apologize to him.
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear that.
No, I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
That's
Coach
hilarious.
Westerberg, too. He told me to jog off the field, and I walked. I was so sour. I was a sore loser that night. I've grown a lot. So I tell our kids, man, it's never too late to just grow.
Does that help you as a coach that you weren't maybe the polished goody two-shoe guy that maybe you had a little rough edges?
I think it does. I think it makes me be a little bit more patient with those guys that are a little rougher around the edges a little bit. Just a little bit. Sometimes I have to remind myself that I wasn't a goody two-shoes. Because the older you get, the more you forget that you messed up too. A lot.
But I was a hothead too. I mean, we're just competitive.
Ooh.
I mean, I still get hot if I'm losing in
Trouble.
I don't care if it's a card game.
That is that 8 or 9? 8.
8.
It's Case and Braden on the keep.
And we
they
got
got so many dudes.
we got about 2. We're at around 2 minutes left on the clock.
Thank you, Pickle.
Hey, Instagram guru Pickle, how do I add a link
I
to
That's your
Is
husband.
that still
that's
a
your
thing?
husband's expertise. I don't.
I mean,
he gets.
I'm
you're
too
not
old.
wrong.
I'm too old. I'm like, how do I add a link to this thing?
Man,
I see kids
this
saying
job,
swipe.
I got this job. They gave me a Mac computer, and you would have thought I was an 85-year-old old man.
he goes. I don't know how to use this.
I turned into, y'all seen Zoolander when they're like in the computer. That was me. I couldn't open it to save all the. Y'all could have given
Ruben.
me 80 chances, and I couldn't have.
Wait,
figured
so
out.
are you saying on live watch party viewership that you are a PC guy?
Yeah, my dad works at Dell. I'm from Austin.
So he had the Dell
we go.
We're
hookup,
Dell people,
which is why he's
the
a.
Statesman's Dell.
I mean, if I was raised in a Dell family, I would have,
Right. I mean, I even told my dad that story, and he didn't even laugh. Right? He was just mad at me. He's like, "You gotta quit," because I was making it into a joke, and he just stone faced stared at me like, "You got a Mac now?"
How dare you turn on our family, Brandon?
changed.
Yeah.
Michael, how dare you
It's
turn
like
on
those
our
Dr.
family?
Pepper commercials.
Yeah.
Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Oh, 6. No, he's in.
He's got to be in. That's John Trey Davis. They got to give it to him.
He was,
Touchdown.
He was down. His butt. was
They're
all the way down.
okay. I think they're gonna mark him down. What are they gonna
Come
do
on,
here?
ref.
They got VAR.
I thought he VAR. I thought he reached and
We
got
don't even have
it.
the yellow
Shavers,
line.
Craven, are y'all on
Half
IG?
yard
If
line.
kids still call it that.
I don't have an IG.
Craven.
I think so, but I can't. I just I put dog photos on there just because this is how old man I am.
This is
I'm
why I
worried I'm
love
gonna
you.
Lose all the photos.
This is
I don't
why I
trust
love
the
you.
cloud.
I don't trust the cloud.
This is why I
Don't
love.
trust the
What
cloud.
is the cloud? What is it?
Where are the photos? Nobody
In the
knows.
cloud.
Yeah, like what is like? Is it like a physical?
Yeah, if it's on Instagram, I can go back and be like,
What
hey,
I
look,
think is
taco.
great is that like
What
these
is the
three were all
cloud?
worried about what this concept like the watch along was going to be, and I'm like, this is what I pictured.
And we haven't even made it to halftime, and the statement, "What is the cloud?"
What is
has
the
already been
cloud
said.
just happened?
We're the first half of a super competitive game, and it's like,
What
yeah.
is the cloud?
I think it's safe now.
We said it simultaneously too, which makes me feel like even though we've been like longtime Twitter friends,
Right.
now real life BFFs, I feel like we always kind of had that connection.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
We're old souls.
We've always been on the same page.
Old souls.
that
like
that
that.
I am now. I'm feeling it. Okay, can I get more pizza?
Sure, come and do what you need to. I ain't got more pizza.
Okay.
You don't
I
need
do-
my permission to get pizza. Like
I know. I look at you like I'm like, hey mom, can I get more pizza?
Yeah, hey, mom.
Turn into work husband.
We are-
work husband
Really
to
is.
mom.
So how scary is it that I go to him for like raising children advice? Should I be concerned?
Yeah, no, I would not do that.
Okay. Okay. So I should
I
second.
would ask. Well, it's not that I wouldn't do it. I would crowdsource. Is what I'm saying.
There you go.
That's fair,
There you
right.
go. That's fair. You know what I mean?
Here's the whole. Ask Jen, because Jen
Well, I
knows
mean,
what
that's-
she's doing.
Now-
you
now
can't
we're
ask Tepper.
Essentially,
on
that's
the
who I
right.
go to.
Right.
In fact, Jen
That's
and
correct.
I, Jen
That's
and
a
I have
correct
already
answer.
talked about NA wines. She has like a because again, when that time arrives, it's like,
Right.
how am I going to get through it?
Oh.
Jen has a list of
Ooh,
NA.
look at this. Who got the ball?
Owens. No,
Did he?
he didn't.
He's short.
He's shorter. He dropped it or something. I didn't. I don't know.
That ball loose? That ball loose? Oh!
Oh my goodness.
Wow!
Oh my gosh! Wait a
Lindale! It's Omar Weber who comes up with it
On the goal line.
on the
minute.
goal
Hey,
line.
hey!
I'm not sure he
We
got
had
the
a
snap.
defensive.
I think it was a fumble snap. And so now Lindale has the first stop of the game.
Who called? Wait,
I
who
was
called?
wrong. I said El Campo.
I think Schaefer said Lindale. We're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Don't check the
Schaefer's
tape.
totally called Lindale.
Wow.
That's a
okay.
big play.
Lindale, goal
a
line
huge
stand,
play.
Shavers.
Because El
Because-
Campo got the ball to start the game.
So Lindale gets the ball. So even if you're Lindale,
that can be 14-point swing.
yeah, if you're Lindale, like obviously, there's about a minute 30 left, Pickle? A minute and a half?
Yeah. Yes.
About a minute and a half. You've got plenty of time to score, but at the same time, if you go in 28-28, get the ball in the second half, you're like, cool. Like, deal.
This
we
is,
got the stuff
this
with
is
you.
scary right here,
Yeah,
though.
this has got to be quick play.
Yeah. If you.
Oh, I
the
love
screen!
that call.
Oh.
Middle screen!
Open it up.
Get going!
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
go 99!
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
go 99!
Out.
Oh!
That was a great play call, though. That's
Clint,
a
Who
Thurman.
was
great
that?
play
Clint
call.
Thurman. What year is he? I
Oh,
wish they had
man.
years on here.
That is an excellent. That's a
Wow.
gutsy play call, too.
It is. That's
'Cause that
trusting your
could-
quarterback. That's having a senior quarterback.
50 seconds left in the half.
Because that can go sideways in
And
a lot of different ways.
Thurman's been, so we've talked a lot about Sam Peterson, but
Been
Thurman's got
huge.
4
To be a
carries
fly
for
on the
40
wall of
45
Chad
yards.
Roll's locker room at the half.
Got it.
Yeah.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, Thurman's averaging 11.2 yards per carry. So Sam Peterson's been doing a lot, but Thurman has come up big with 4 carries for
What
45
year is he?
yards.
Does it say?
Thurman.
It doesn't say on the
There's
roster.
no way to know.
We're just gonna guess.
There's no way
We'll
to know.
speculate.
Coach, you missed it.
He's a junior.
Lindale.
I heard it all. Heard it all.
Tepper was giving play-by-play from afar.
All right. Driving in the final minute of this first half.
Oh, get out of bounds.
Yeah. Well, I think they got one timeout at least. Peterson
Goal line stand.
letting
Goal line stand turnover.
Evan Alford. Yeah, I think it was a fumbled snap.
Yeah.
There's a timeout.
Yeah, see that, Coach. What are your thoughts on this? Right, like they're from shotgun 99% of the time. They're on the 1 yard line, so they go under center, fumble the snap.
Yeah. Don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to be a shotgun team, you got to be a shotgun team. Or you open up the opportunity for things like that to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times has Ruben Owens taken a snap under center?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
in his, probably not often.
Well, especially him. You know, if you want him to have the ball, which again, I want to go on record. Good idea.
Sure.
You know, give him the ball, and I don't love the idea of a shotgun snap when you need 1 yard, but at the same time, given the circumstances and the context of it,
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense. You know.
You just don't have time to practice everything.
No.
And so if you're not practicing that, you're in an area around playoff game, maybe taking one of the 10 snaps all year at the center or something like that.
In a game like this, that turnover could be the difference.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, we were talking about how Lindale gets the ball starts second half, too. So they go down here and score in the next 40
you
What are we
sometimes
actually
who
less than
gets a
30
stop?
seconds?
Yeah, we're at about 30 seconds left in the half.
We need a sponsor for the clock on here, too.
We're working on it, Craven.
Hey, who was
Bounce
y'all's
outside.
quarterback at Allen when you were there?
Out of bounds.
Casey Dick.
Okay, where's he now?
He's the head coach at Fayetteville High School right now.
Really?
In Fayetteville,
Okay.
Arkansas.
Okay.
How many people you graduate with?
787.
Did you know the person to your left and your right at graduation?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
And what is it now? Wait, what is Allen now?
They turned in 7,100.
7,000.
Yeah.
I mean,
Quite a few.
isn't that crazy?
So,
lot of
like,
kids.
on paper, that seems like the easiest job in the state, right? But I'd imagine there are there are
I think
negatives about it as well, or some challenges about
Yeah.
having that, like the kid management. right?
Look. I can.
It's a small university.
I'll editorialize. I think that job is low key extremely difficult. I think that you got to be a CEO, and you got to. That is a job where you have to hire really well.
Yeah.
If you don't hire well, you're toast.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that you can be the boss over everyone. You can't
Right.
be. You go down to 2A, right? And you can be in every position group if you really want to,
Sure.
right? There, it's like,
Yeah, it's tough.
what are you going to do? Like, I think that's a tough job. I think all those big school jobs are tougher than
Oh,
they think.
it's a small university. Isn't it bigger now than
Well,
Rice University?
Yeah, probably. Well,
Really?
the reason
Yes, I remember when Terry
Wow.
Gamble was there. He said we are larger than Rice University.
The reason I
Wow.
asked is because when I was at Tech hanging out with Joey McGuire, I asked, he was like, one of the things they asked me was, how are you going to manage 85 different players, right? And he was like, at Cedar Hill, I had more football players than Texas Tech has male athletes. Not just football, but football, basketball, track, all that kind of stuff. I had more football players
Right,
at
they gotta
Cedar
get up.
Hill than that. So, yeah.
Hey, ask Kenny Perry about going up to
They-
Kansas.
That's
He
a
goes
lot of
because
kids.
he had a better slate of athletes at like Arlington
no, they got a
Bowie
plan.
than at Kansas.
Shot.
Well, back shoulder. Oh!
Touchdown.
Oh, he dropped
Oh, he dropped it. Oh, good play by 9. Is that 9 or 8?
it. 9.
9. That is
By
Isaiah
9.
Anderson on the cover.
Oh my
I
lord!
see
Excellent
Isaiah.
play. That's 6.
Ooh,
He's
okay,
ripped
flex
it away.
on him.
Yeah. Isaiah not
Excellent.
playing. Isaiah Anderson, great breakup. Quarterback, defensive back.
That's an excellent play. Save 6. And so now, boy, I mean, it's still, I'd say it's
Yeah, I don't
like
know
30,
how much-
35 yards at 4A is still
Right.
a dicey proposition. So we don't know how much time's left, but we'll see here. We'll play fake.
Get it to him.
Oh! Just missed him.
He'll want that one back.
He had a man. He had a man. He had a step, too. It's a good route. Kind of.
He got behind 2 guys.
All right, so now it's third down.
One of the guys he got behind
So,
just got
so here's the problem.
Yeah.
So here's
Get him out.
So here's the issue. It's third down. So that really limits, and I believe they're out of timeout. So that really limits the number of like where your plays can come from because you cannot spike the ball. So you got to get to the edge. You got to can't run the ball probably.
I thought they were about to hand
I was gonna say
Shot.
idiot. Ooh,
Uh-oh.
can't take
Can't-
that.
can't get
Oh, he gets out of there.
That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah,
He hit
That's a
himself.
half.
yeah.
That's another having
Sure.
a senior
Hey, you
quarterback.
didn't throw it away.
Yeah, you just gotta get where you can't take a second.
Was that
And
fourth
I think
down?
They are going to, yeah. So it looks like they'll probably try a field goal here. Yeah, that sack could have been brutal.
Yep.
So which kicker's coming out? Got 2 kickers listed on the roster.
Got QB1 holding too.
Looks like number 20.
20?
How many
30?
trick plays do y'all have in your back pocket
A million.
as a head coach? Like how many do you know what I mean?
Whoa.
Oh, they
Especially in
did-
like a
what
situation like
Oh,
that.
they blew it.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind.
Clock
Same-
went out on
Ran out of
Yeah, ran
time.
out.
Oh.
You had to that's why you got to have a 911 PAT. You ever heard of that tip? 911. You know,
Teach me.
if you're in a situation where you just are all out of timeouts, or you're out of downs where you can't spike it, You've trained your kids on the sideline to say, hey, we're going PAT, and you're rushing them out there. There's no shift. Everybody's down in the stance already. Snap it, kick it, get it off real quick.
Basically, what, 15 seconds from the moment you say number one, the ball needs to be in the air.
And you practice that. And you practice that often.
And teams that have maybe once a week, and at your kick to field, type practice.
So we're at halftime at McLean Stadium. 56 points scored, 28-28. This has been fun. Erin Hartigan's got to leave because.
Are you leaving at the half?
No.
I didn't come to do.
I was like, hey, this is news to me. Breaking news here on the show. I'm getting kicked out of the party. I was actually going to go grab another soda. But
although,
go ahead. Can I just throw this out? Okay.
Yes, darling.
How cool is it for these kids? No. And again, well, you said you liked interrupting people. So do I, especially him.
That's why you my dog.
So can I just note this? Look at that field. These kids may never, most will not go on to play college football.
Right.
But the fact they get to play a game on that, I think sometimes I take it for granted. I don't realize how big of a moment this is. It's like AT&T Stadium. Like when we, the state championships. That might be the greatest moment in that kid's career is playing on that stage.
For most of them, it is.
For most.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I take that for granted, when covering this. Because it's every year we're at AT&T or they're playing at no big deal. But,
It is. No, it's a big deal. And then I don't know how they do it behind the scenes, but, in the old days when we used to go play at Texas Stadium, you'd have that custom nameplate on your locker that you get to take home with you and all that kind of stuff. Souvenirs.
That's cool.
This is true.
Texas high school football,
I got my nameplate
man.
up on my desk right there.
Yeah, I'm going to go see it before I leave.
Oh.
The purple one? The long.
Mine's red. I'll get
But
one.
most will never go on to play.
see it.
Most will never go on to play on a college football field
No,
like that.
seriously. That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
I just
Everybody,
think
the
that's
whole
really
town,
cool for them.
even the cheerleaders and the band members,
Yep.
they probably won't
Yep.
march on the field like that either. So
You know what?
good for the town.
The marching band. We actually did a feature on that not long ago about the marching bands at AT&T Stadium. How cool it is for them too. I mean, they get to perform at half on the Cowboys football field. I mean, it's a big moment for everyone.
Speaking of marching bands and Baylor Stadium,
65.
you ever
Right,
seen
man,
Matt
that's a man's
Stepp's
number.
tweet about
Look at that.
Allen's band
Look at that.
crossing the Brazos? Is still one of the best tweets of all
Classic.
time.
Oh my gosh.
65. Greg
Whoa,
Tepper.
wait. Seriously?
Class of what?
04.
We
Man,
have
if
a
we
pho-
would have played Capel, we'd have had to
Do you
go
have
ahead and Tep.
lineman Tep photo?
Tep, were you a dirty lineman?
Buddy.
Tell the truth.
Let's put this
We
Tell
would,
the truth.
we would just find him as scrappy.
The top, the
Hashtag
Tell me what was the
lineman
biggest
Tep.
you played at
Scrappy
your whole
Joe.
high school?
the biggest I ever played at was 235. So yeah, I was
Interior guy?
Wow.
guard. Yeah.
Okay.
He's cutting people.
Nasty guard.
Guard, and terrible at it too. I mean, so it was not
We
good.
ran a
You
photo.
were definitely the guy that
He's cutting
was
people all
blocking
day.
through
Yeah.
the whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like whistles blown, you're still blocking.
Big hustle guy.
Oh.
He's hey,
Hey, that was the hardest guy to play against for me.
I was the worst.
Yeah.
He was also the guy that would run through the sign, out on the field. He
Yeah.
was the one that would break the
First
sign.
guy?
Yep. He
Gotta
was the
be.
first. Yeah.
Listen, man.
We
Tip,
have
man,
a photo of it. Does
Tep,
Ben still have that?
I don't think I knew you were an offensive lineman.
Yeah, bad one.
That's fine, but that's
you know what?
that's
More
still
pizza.
good that
It's a
you.
brotherhood.
No doubt.
On
And
this
that's
note,
why.
I'm getting
That's
more
why.
pizza.
And something I don't know if people.
I should probably
recognize.
mute
By the
my
way,
mic.
we will take your questions at halftime.
I'll
you
mute
have
my mic.
questions on
I got it.
Oh, thank you,
Facebook,
Pickle.
YouTube, and Twitch, stuff like that.
Hit me up.
If you got questions for Marcus Shavers, for Erin Hartigan, for Mike Craven, for Ashley Pickle.
Man, I'll tell you what, we were about 10 people shy of 1,000 right before halftime.
No.
People are taking their pizza breaks right now, but
Take your pizza breaks, fine. If you
I
got
was gonna say,
questions, we'll ask
get
them.
people going because we were literally
But-
about 10 people away.
But that's another reason why I always want to make sure, because we're marveling at Ruben Owens. And Ruben Owens is an incredible football player.
Yeah.
It take nothing away from him. But you know what? You go to Ruben Owens and you ask him what makes you so good.
Yeah.
And if he's the guy that we hope he is,
Right.
what he's saying is like those five
The
guys.
boss hogs.
Those guys whose name you don't know.
Right.
And that's why I always try
Yeah.
to make sure I shout them out because I know they're doing the dirty work.
So here's some free game.
All
I'm
right.
about to give our listeners
Go,
some
go.
free game. I was at a Lovejoy football game, one of the coolest things that I've seen, and we actually stole it. Shout out to Chris Ross,
Love it.
Lovejoy
Cedar Park.
High School football staff, Coach Lavender.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me my shot. He hired me right out of Arkansas at Wichita Falls High School. Coyotes, not
High.
coyotes.
Old high. Oh no. I've
Make
learned-
sure you understand
not
that.
to not to interrupt, but
Yeah.
I've learned that in Texas high school football, if you call them the Coyotes or you call them the Brahmas, they'll never get mad at you if it's the other way.
Yeah.
But if I were to say Coyotes
Yeah.
or Brahmas, I will get emails.
Yeah, it'd be a
Go on.
problem. So I was at a Lovejoy football game, and one of the things that I noticed that their announcer would do periodically throughout the game is just at the beginning of an offensive drive, random offensive drive, they'll just say, and starting at left guard for the Lovejoy Leopards is number 65, Greg Tepper.
I love it.
And then they go play football, and then everybody else who catches a ball gets their name said. And then maybe if it's a 4 or 5 play drive, 3 or 4 plays later, they may say, at right tackle for the or they may do it just at the beginning of every series. So we started doing that at McKinney High this year, and before, because you're gonna get at least 5 series, right?
Yeah.
In a game. So your announcer, we got one of the best in the state of Texas, by the way, Mike Bruck, the voice of McKinney ISD Stadium. Does a great job. Our offense goes out on the field, and that left tackle for the McKinney Lions, number 78, Adrian McIntrish, and you hear his folks.
Oh,
That's the moment.
Yeah! Because there's not another opportunity in the high school football game unless they maybe come up with the fumble.
So that's the thing.
Yep.
I fell on one fumble in my football career.
Did they
One
shout
fumble.
you out on
Of course
the?
they did. Because you know why? I stood up and I held it up.
You got
I stood up.
Let's go.
I'm like,
Glory.
I'm looking at the press box.
so on-
Wait,
Yeah.
wait,
Like,
he's
so on
no,
brand.
he's like soccer
Delay a
celebrating.
game.
No. Imagine him soccer celebrating. Like he's running across. He's
Give me
sliding,
the ball
he's sliding
back
his arms
already.
out.
It's like we lost a yard, but I'm like, guys, don't worry.
I got it.
I got it.
Let's go.
Tepper soccer sliding in the end zone.
Oh, exactly. It's like, dude, it's second and 11. What are you talking about? We're
He's
down.
got tackled for a safety.
We're down
you know what I
14
mean?
points. Like, what are you doing?
But it goes back to why I love Texas high school football, and it's because like they do little things like that to like make it bigger for these kids. I mean, it's
to.
and people that have never experienced this before. It's funny because people in other states are like, "Oh, you cover preps football." I'm like, you clearly have never experienced Texas high school. This is not preps football in Nebraska where I'm from. Like this is, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is too, like, let me put on my small town hat here. Like, barely anybody from my high school went on to play, and if they did, we had one guy go on at TLU to play. So it was like this was everything because this was the last time that they were going to be able to go out there and play, and it's like that's why it means everything. Specifically when you get past the 5 and 6A realms.
Yeah.
Because that's really most of like 90% of those players are never going to play another snap of football. Yeah. So it's like this is it. This is the glory days.
Together.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You know each other. I've watched those guys play Pop Warner football since I was 5.
Yep.
You know.
That's why our 6 hours of coverage, like when we mention like the team or the kid's name, on like we get emails from like.
Was I not supposed to turn that off?
No. Like it's a big deal, right? If you make Scoreboard Live, if Rick Renner says your name,
no, it's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
You get your cell phone out and you record the deal.
And again,
that
it's
happens.
something we take for granted. We're just like, oh, it's another night of fun.
It's awesome.
About being a community newspaper guy when I first started out. You know, because it's a much more personal.
If that hurt, Pickle.
You know, like thing or whatever.
Your ear turned red.
Still
yeah, Tepper about blew out my ears there because I'm the only one the whole time that's got an actual headset.
That was Tepper?
Yeah, he turned off his mic. He just needs to let me mute it. This is why he's tripod guy. He handles the tripods. We
Coach
don't
Pratt's
ask him to do
tuning in. He
anything
wanted me
else.
to tell you hello.
Who?
Coach Pratt. He's tuning in. He's about to tune in.
Hey, Coach Pratt. Coach Pratt's the Godfather.
The Godfather. We're going to FaceTime him by the end of the show, too.
Oh, we probably should.
We should, for sure.
I mean,
we got to make sure we catch him early. He gets to bed early, gets up really early.
It's way past his bedtime at this point, right?
I don't know. He works till he can't work anymore.
Hey, our girl Jennifer Frazier, though, is killing it out there.
Yeah, she is. She's awesome.
To have a female AD overseeing all of McKinney ISD Craven.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Pretty badass.
She's awesome.
I went to UTSA. We got a woman athletic director.
Love it.
Really?
Love it.
Coach Frazier's awesome to work with.
Hey, and she's a G. Like, he'd never want to toe up with her. Come on now.
No. Legendary basketball player, too.
Yeah. You don't get to those spots with, you don't have to take any grief if you're going to get to that spot.
Big time.
But no, like you said, a kid seeing his name in print, like in a newspaper.
Right.
I mean,
and the parents and grandparents and stuff like that.
Oh, my goodness.
What happens
But we don't realize that, like, in our coverage, like, and I think that's why someone asked me the other day, it's like I've covered NBA, Rangers, I think I love covering high school football so much because it's what we do is so significant and so meaningful, more so than anything I do at the professional level.
Right.
You know what
I
I mean?
left a professional beat to take this job.
Yeah.
Like I was covering professional soccer,
Yeah.
all year or whatever, and you get to go to some, cool cities, and you're dealing with adults, and there are some benefits to it, but the impact you're making and like the gratitude extended back doesn't exist.
Bingo.
Right? It's a one-way transaction at the professional level.
Yep.
Like you are almost a burden to the operation.
And you're one
that's
of
going
how
on.
many others covering it.
Right.
I mean, it's kind,
And it's gotten so watered down that you're not hanging out in the locker rooms with guys anymore. They don't allow that kind of stuff.
No.
Like when we were growing up, and you would hear about reporters like,
just hanging.
you'd stay at the same hotel, and you get to know guys in a real way. Now it's only during press conferences, and there's not a real thing here. Whereas I can call a high school coach, and he'll call me back within 2-3 minutes. And you don't have to go through an SID. You don't have to go through a publicist or an agent or the team or anything.
you
like
call
that.
him.
Right.
You call Shavers the week before a game. He's going to give you whatever you
get in
need,
and
whatever
go.
sort of
You can just
access
text
you
them,
want.
like, hey coach, you'll get an answer back. There's an intimacy to it that doesn't exist once you get hired.
Totally. I will tell you this. What's funny, you mentioned the press conference, how everything's kind of either Zoom or press conference now.
Yeah.
What's funny is during the pandemic, covering a lot of the professional athletes, what we found was a lot of them kind of liked not having media scrolling through the locker room. They liked that, like, okay, I'm on a Zoom, and at some point it's going to end, and we just click a button and I'm
Shut
gone, and I can shut y'all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we actually found that some of them didn't mind not having media in the locker room.
It'll never go back.
And I know you as a former athlete probably understand that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Access will never go back to what it was pre-pandemic.
No.
Like there's a lot of things that have changed due to the pandemic. And one of the things that in the sports world is the access media has gotten. Because once you take something away, you don't have to give it back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so that you're never going to, NFL teams are always going to have that excuse now. College teams are always going to have that excuse now where this has worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is better for us. Y'all deal with it. And that's just what it's going to be, and it's probably never going to go back to the times where you could just like hang out in an NFL locker room after a game interviewing guys at their locker.
Chap, I was telling him most
you
athletes
hear me? Okay, good. What's up, nerds?
during the pandemic, we found that Rangers, Pelicans, a lot of like professional athletes kind of liked the whole Zoom being distanced from media, where like you could like at the click of a button I could be gone.
I mean, I think we've all been to a McKinney game where Coach Shavers was like, not, like, I'm not.
Yeah, right.
Or you could just be
No
like,
comment.
No comment.
hey, wait,
You know why I'm here.
Wait.
You know why I'm here.
No comment.
Yeah.
Shavers pretends his screen freezes.
You know why
and
I'm
then it
here.
just clicks off.
Is this? Let me ask y'all something.
Okay.
Is this what y'all have always wanted to do? Is this what you like when you were coming through college? Was this like this is
we
end
still
goal?
alive?
Were we like
I'll
what you're
let you
doing
answer.
right now? Like, is this what, or did you fall into it? Were you like, I just want to write newspaper articles, and somebody's like, hey, come do my show, and it worked out? Or was this like intentionally what you wanted to do?
I've talked enough. I'm gonna let Greg answer that.
I'm sorry, she's eating.
No, and
So-
you know me, I've talked enough, so I feel bad. I'll share the room.
Let me tell you how. I'll tell you what a dumb person I am. You know this from personal experience.
No, I don't.
But
Very smart.
I have a degree from a very prestigious
Here we go.
journalism school. Do you know what school I went to?
Check the time.
Yeah, gee, what school did he go to,
Oh
everyone?
no, man, they lose in football a lot. I don't
They
know.
sure do. That's how good they are. It's
Educate
I
me.
went to Mizzou. I got to
They
do
missed
better.
the
They're
Big
better at covering football.
Let's just
than
say
playing
they missed the
football.
Big 12, much like
undeniably
Nebraska
true. I have
does.
no
Okay.
response to that.
I'm
Anyway.
a fan of Mizzou, man. I got a kid up there.
Who?
John Jones, defensive end.
Yeah, that's right.
McKinney kid. And Caleb Evans also, one of the hottest pickups out of the portal last year from Tulsa Corner. He's a McKinney high kid.
Yeah, I thought-
Now, I didn't get to coach Caleb. He was older, but yeah, I know him well.
I got a degree in newspaper journalism in 2008.
Okay? Newspaper
Newspaper.
journalism.
Yeah. What'd your dad?
So was your intentions on
my
writing
dad
sports
was-
articles?
Yeah,
in the newspaper?
what I want to do, like what he's doing right
Yeah.
now. Actually, I'll be honest. I don't know if I've ever said this publicly. My dream,
Let's open up, man.
you're roasted.
It's okay.
My dream was to be the back page columnist for Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, like Dan
Ooh.
Levitard.
Dan Levitard, Rick Riley.
Yeah.
Right? Rick Riley was the
Absolutely.
guy I grew up reading. And I was like, man, that seems so awesome.
The back page.
The back page, right? The back page column in Sports Illustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like Sports Illustrated, God love them, not doing great.
That's funny. You can tell we're the same age because that's also like
Right.
That was
That was kind. That was.
Well,
That was.
I think there was a
no longer-
generation
no longer
of guys who grew up wanting to do that and stuff. And
Why specifically? I don't mean to cut you off the back page. Was that just
It was-
where?
You got to write what you wanted to write.
Okay.
you get to write what you want to
Gotcha.
write for
You weren't
prestigious.
covering a game, for example,
Okay,
whatever.
gotcha.
You could like go to a big story or have your opinion in there and like
Gotcha.
really
Yeah.
say something.
You had a
Gotcha.
page that was all yourself to do whatever you wanted, right?
Okay.
And Rick Riley did a great job for that. Lost his fastball along the way. It all happens to all of us. So I got a job coming out of college at the Dallas Morning News. And I worked for the Morning News for a couple of years, and then I got a job here
in sports?
in sports. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, doing partially sports and
Hey, tell them about
Okay.
our first interaction when
And-
you were at the morning news.
I'll get there. So then
He was
so
mean.
so then I got a job here at Dave Campbell's. Job came open, stuff like that. 2013, the guy who was the managing editor here left. He took another job elsewhere, and we had a 4-hour live television show that they said, hey, we're kind of going to need you to do the 4-hour live television show. I had never done television before, like not even once. I didn't even want to do it. Like, it was, like, to be real honest, it was something that did not come naturally to me.
Yeah.
But they were like, we kind of need you to do it, or like the company dies. Not really, but like it was like
Save
we're
the
going to
day.
be in a real tough spot.
They were that
Do it.
desperate,
It
is
really
what
was.
we're
It was
saying.
like it's you or like a dancing monkey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, I guess I'll edge out the dancing
monkey
monkey.
can't.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
need to-
And the monkey was busy.
We need to
Yeah.
find one of those
And
clips.
so I did it, and I ended up really liking it. And like now, it's just proof of like you got to try things. That, like I'd always thought like, TV, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do
Yeah.
broadcast. And then like in the end, I ended up loving it. I did some radio before that with the great Roger Emmerich, the legend. And you know, yeah. I mean, I love what I'm doing now. I think I have a dream job. I've said that before publicly. I'll say it again. I think I have a dream job. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
And all my bad days at work involve football. Pretty good,
Awesome.
right?
I mean,
No,
not
no
yeah.
doubt. It's like me.
Yeah.
There you
Like
go.
me. Same as a coach.
Right.
What about you, Aaron?
Here we go.
I'll be honest. You guys might be shocked hearing this. I actually began as a print major
Did
at
you
West
really?
Texas A&M.
I
I went to West. So
We're
long.
never
Speaking of
Y'all
Mizzou. Growing up in Omaha, Nebraska, Mizzou was like kind of the dream journalism school. So Tom Chattel, he's probably not watching, but I'm shouting you out anyway. Tom Chattel is still a sports columnist for the Omaha World Herald.
He go to Mizzou.
I would read him he was a Mizzou grad. I was an intern at
So
the
is
World
Mizzou
Herald.
really a
Like
big
Tom
time
Chattel was
journalism
like
school?
Tom Chattel was like
Northwestern
the
Mizzou.
Okay.
so he was like my idol. Like I wanted to be him. Went to Mizzou. Well, but I wanted to play softball in college as well. When I went to go visit Mizzou, Ty Singleton was the head coach there. Still love Ty. He went on to New Mexico and actually coached one of my friends, small world. But the journalism department at Mizzou and the softball program at Mizzou basically made it apparent that if you come here, you do one or the other. You cannot do both because the journalism department is that demanding. Like it's if you do this, like you're not gonna have time for softball, vice versa. I wanted to do both. Like I wanted to find a school where I could like write and cover the athletics there while playing softball. West Texas A&M kind of provided me that opportunity. Also financially helped my parents, so that was also a big thing too. And you know what? And I tell kids that when I covered recruiting, I hate you. Yeah. When I covered recruiting, and if there are any kids out there, I said, everyone always D1. That's the goal, right? You want to go to FBS, you want to go to Power 5, you want to go one where you're wanted, and two, who is going to pay for your education?
No doubt.
And where you could have a better chance of maybe getting on the field right away.
Your degree does not say D1, D2,
Bingo.
that kind of stuff. It doesn't say any of that.
I started right away my freshman year, played all 4 years, had my broadcast journalism degree covered. Like, where do I sign? Had I gone D1? No way. I mean, because no one offered full rides to shortstops in Division I, right? Yeah. Like, it just wasn't a thing.
What was your first real job? First real, like, once you got on your first real assignment on TV?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know this.
Coincidentally, 2008. Is that 13 years ago? I tweeted it out.
Something like that, yeah.
13 years and 3 days ago.
Okay.
November 15th, 2008. No, the only reason I know this is because Central Washington just joined the Lone Star Conference.
Yeah.
my first ever on-air broadcast covering a football game for WT was West Texas A&M's upset win over Central Washington in the Super Regional that year. It was the NCAA playoffs. Like I was covering like an NCAA, and it was like huge deal for me. They upset Central Washington in that game. Little did I know, 13 years later, they'd be joining the Lone Star, right? Yeah. And I don't know, I think when I was a print major, I joined the National Broadcasting Society, like just for fun, just kind of meet some people in the...
What a nerd.
Right? I was like, just for fun, just to meet people. I realized if I transition to broadcast journalism, I'm still writing.
Gotcha.
At the end of the day, no matter what you do, whether it's broadcast, like radio, TV, ad, PR, you got to be able to write. That's the foundation of everything. Again, something else I tell interns, you got to be able to write. So I'm able to make myself more versatile. So I was like, all right, this is cool. Like I can kind of do more.
So a couple years ago, I don't know kind of what was going on. I kind of followed it just looking at all of y'all's Twitter, and there was like a deal where a ton of sports writers from various different like news companies around the country were getting let go. And it was like a attack.
That could be anything.
It was like a almost.
Jinx
and so there was stuff that where there was like there's an attack on the sports newspaper because I guess everything is going so digital media. Podcast is that a real thing?
You know what really hurt the newspaper industry that's never talked about is Craigslist, right? Newspapers used to make a ton of money off of selling other people's stuff, right? You'd sell your car, and that's free. That's 33% of the newspaper industry in 1990, right? If we took 33% from nearly any company in this country, they're going to be firing.
We took 33% from McKinney ISD. They're having some talk.
We're going to struggle.
There's probably more people reading the newspaper today than ever before because of population growth.
Okay.
But you're making less on it because one, it costs more to print than it ever has before. And two, you're not getting that free money from selling Tom's car and John's lawnmower and Grandma's washing machine. Like that was free money for the newspaper that they no longer get. And so you're working at 66% operating costs.
Gotcha.
And that's that's before we even talk about the internet. Yeah. You know, and so there was just a lot of things conspiring against print. And for 15, 20 years, newspapers acted like they were above the internet, so they didn't put a paywall up there. And then all of a sudden, they started realizing, look, nobody's reading our newspapers anymore. They're only going digitally. So they start to put a paywall there. Well, you got 20 years of people just getting free stories. Yeah. So they're like, man, why are you paying for that? It's like, well, why do you pay for your hamburger?
Right.
Why do you pay for anything? You know, like I can't do anything and go like, can I just have that hot dog, you know, or whatever? Like I got to pay for it. But with news, people don't have that assumption. Because for so long they were able just to get online and find that story.
Man, I know you and I have had these conversations before, but it still hurts to hear because it's like I care about print media. I want print media to succeed. Obviously, we're a print media organization, like at our core, right? Like we have a magazine,
Coach
Please
Pratt,
buy our magazine.
Where's Peyton and Eli?
Well, I mean, honestly, if we're being honest, I mean, it would have been crazy to leave a newspaper for a magazine 20 years ago.
Orchestrating
right? Like it's not something that would have been a thing that happened. But it's flipped now. It's a digital world. Even newspapers would rather. It's a secret they don't want to say, but they don't want to sell any more print subscriptions. They priced it so high to keep people from doing it because you're breaking even once you factor in the cost and all. Like when I was at the Statesman, we were printing in Houston, so our deadline's 4:30 in the afternoon. The next day's newspaper can't be good if you got to stop doing news at 4 p.m. Nothing happens till 7. So people wake up and they're like, the game, you'd have a UT game that started at 11 that sometimes wouldn't get in the newspaper if it lasted too long, right?
Gotcha.
And it's like that can't exist. That's going to kill your business.
How rounded did they expect you to be at the Statesman? Like in terms of like, did you have to do like a podcast or a digital hit? Like, did they expect you to be, kind of contribute more?
Yeah, I don't know if the expectation's there, right? Like, oh man, I gotta be careful.
But no, it's. I mean, in
Don't
newspaper, I
get in
think
trouble,
they're
Mike.
asking more.
The goal tonight is we all have jobs.
As a
Don't get in
reporter,
trouble.
if you've been working there for 30, 40 years, they're probably not going to expect you to know how to do all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
But if you're within a certain age range, or you still have 30 years, have 30 years left in your career, you better be able to do like it's a self-preservation thing because they'll find somebody who can, right? Because like. the kids graduating from college now can do everything.
That's right.
Right?
That's the sole reason
No,
I'm here.
William wishes he like literally if there's one person on earth he wishes he could clone, it's not me. It's definitely Pickle.
Yeah.
Like, look at
No,
the-
seriously, because
Right.
you're so valuable.
Pickle, why does everybody
the
give you
biggest
such a hard
recruiting-
time about not liking cold weather? What's that all about, Tepper?
Ooh.
What's that all about?
Some of us don't have the luxury of sitting
So
in a
here's the
climate-controlled studio
Here's
on
the
Friday
thing.
night, man.
You're in the trenches.
Some
Should be
of
on the
us.
sideline.
You got to be in the trenches.
Some of us are over here. Yeah,
the
I got
barbecue.
massive
It was-
cannons. I got some meat on my
Yeah.
bones, right? But yeah, it's cold. It gets cold out there.
She was on
Yeah.
the sidelines. It was 59 degrees. She put on a parka. Like, that's what happened.
It's
Uh,
not true.
No, I would.
Not true. For the record, I told him this, and
Not a bad thing.
I have been super mindful and probably have put myself through a little bit more than I should have. But this whole year, I have avoided putting on gloves or a beanie, even though it was stinking cold. And I'm like the only reporter that's done that.
But you're not
So
you're not
I
out there
can take
playing.
it.
You're not out there running
Don't
around.
make don't
That's
make
the
yourself
biggest thing.
don't
Right?
make yourself
If you're a
suffer.
player-
No,
you're a
no,
player.
it's good. The hands got a little cold.
You should
but
be adding more layers.
yeah, if nothing
If
else,
you're
I
a
should
player,
actually show
yeah,
up
like
in a
it's what, but like if
parka.
you're literally standing on the sidelines, I don't blame you.
6 to 8, yeah, man. Okay, here's the thing.
Be
Hot
comfortable.
take here.
Yes.
The cold isn't the issue. It's the wind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
wind. When you get
Yeah.
a stadium that has nothing
go.
around it and
Yeah.
it's just beating you on the sideline the whole time,
Yeah.
that's when it gets bad.
When you're at one of these games, actually, what do you do at halftime?
I mean, I've got a lot of different stuff to do with the halftime interview and stuff like that, but I mean, other than that, it's just kind of standing there waiting for.
Do you watch the band?
Yeah,
You do.
yeah. I'll watch
Awesome.
the band.
I always wonder what people do when they go to football games. Obviously, like when I
leave the
coach them,
stadium and I walk around it.
Do you?
Sometimes. Yep. That's what I do because
I
I
love
don't
it.
want to watch half.
stand in line at the concession
Oh, you
stand.
walk around the outside of the stadium.
Yep.
Oh.
Because I get cooped up in the press box.
Yeah.
And like it's the same people in there, and they're always trying to talk to you and everything like that, right? Like nobody will leave you alone in a press. I never understood that. Like it's clearly a working office,
Hey.
right? Like we're not there to chat. Like there's
Hey.
24 hours in a day, 7 days a week
Yeah.
to chat, right? Like I'm here for 3.5. I got something.
I'm
to
here
do.
to focus.
Let me round on halftime with this. Subscribe to your local newspaper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah.
that's the official.
Support your
Bingo.
local library.
Yeah, support your
Yeah,
local
man.
library and make sure you subscribe to your local newspaper.
McKinney Star
right.
Courier.
McKinney Star Courier. All right. Lindale with the ball. Man, that left side. Every time they've needed a big play, they've gone to the left side. They obviously trust those big fellas over on the left. I think that's,
Both of these teams missed opportunities late in the first
Yes.
half there. Weird clock
Yeah.
management
Yeah.
for Lindale, and then that weird snap
Yeah.
kind of fumble there at the 1 yard
Well,
line. So,
but here's the thing. Right now, and it doesn't matter because it's tied, right? But at the same time, I guess is it one stop to one stop? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Like at least half a stop for El Campo. They were able to get to halftime. Man, they are playing super tight to the line.
so that old Salina defense.
It really is, yeah.
Love it.
Like a 10.
10-1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get out, 24.
Uh-oh. He gone.
Nashad Lee!
He gone.
Look at that ball security.
High and tight.
Ball security.
That's
Our
a
running
coach.
back coach would call it 5 points of pressure. Coach Conk, 5 points of pressure.
What would you ever do if a kid dropped the ball like celebrating before?
Why is he running back here?
Man.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
No.
Illegal formation! Oh! It's not even in the play.
Oh.
That's a killer.
Ooh.
That's like if you get
So
a
as a
hold,
co-
if you
as a
come
coach-
back on holding, it's like you could probably trace it back to a guy trying too hard. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, let's do better.
As a coach,
Illegal
what's your reaction
formation.
right now?
I try not to criticize officials. We have shortage.
You know what? I respect you, Shaver. Shouts Tasso.
Hey, TISO.org, we need officials, please. And Marcus Shavers will be very nice to you.
I'm good to all the refs.
Do we have theories on why? Why?
Yeah.
I have theories. My
Well,
theory
I'd
is
like
that
to
my
hear.
theory is that they get a lot of abuse. It's a false start.
But they probably already have, right?
But I think that it's the kind of thing that look when you're a TASO official, right? When you're a TASO official, ultimately, like you're not going to retire off this kind of money. This is something you got to.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
Side
Yeah.
job.
We got to want to do.
I think people are just lazy.
I don't necessarily think
'Cause,
that's the
like-
case. I do think you've got to build up because you got to do JV games and stuff like that, and you're not going to be thrown into doing an area round game between two elite teams, like really
When
good
did
teams
we
in Lindale.
begin noticing
Campo.
the shortage?
When
What
began.
at what like
Probably
was it
5
the
years ago.
Okay, so it wasn't the pandemic. It wasn't
No,
pandemic
this
driven.
predates
Okay.
the pandemic.
People got better things to do.
Yeah, that's the deal.
Right, like back in the day, it was like, man, I can be part of high school football. I can watch all these games. I can do all this stuff. Now you can just watch it on Texan Live. Now you can do, like
Very true.
You don't have to be as
You don't have to
involved as
work,
you
yeah.
have to be.
That's true.
Because I feel like they've
But I
always been
still
abused.
think-
like
but
Chip Killian's my favorite coach of all time. He's coach at Hendrickson now. He was the linebackers coach at Cedar Park when I was there. Jim Spencer's the weatherman in Austin, and he also does officiating on the side. And this is 2001, right?
Well, you wanna talk
2002.
about a glutton for
Chip
punishment.
Killian is crushing Jim Spencer on the sideline, just crushing him, like, about the calls being worse than the weather calls, and not just murdering him, right? And that didn't make Jim Spencer quit. He laughed about the whole, that's part of the gig. You're going to get yelled at for a few hours.
think
it's not. I
Everyone
don't think
watched
it's
Bally
much
South
different than like 1980, right?
Yeah.
I doubt the coaches were much nicer.
Yeah.
I think. Okay. I also think that the.
I don't know. You
If
probably
you're a-
played. Yeah.
if you're a
you
ref-
probably played under some dudes that
Hold
were.
on.
If you're a ref and a weatherman, you have the toughest skin out of anyone
Dude,
in TV.
shout out
Let
Jim
me tell
Spencer.
you,
That guy is
Yeah.
great.
He's the. Going back to the previous conversation,
Yeah.
he's one of the reasons I wanted to get into TV. I used to watch Jim
Seriously?
Spencer growing
Really?
up. I would do fake weather
Man.
reports in front of Jim Spencer.
Actually, Pickle, give us your
Wow.
story.
That is great. That's tremendous nugget
okay,
that
I
we just
can-
got out of pickle. Right
I'll
there.
knock it out in the next. I'll knock it out in the next.
Yeah, I want to
commercial
hear how
break.
Pickle became the GOAT of DCTF.
We'll get to that. I don't love it, but we'll do it. All right, Lindale with the ball after a couple of penalties. It really set them back here.
Did you went to school for media? So I'm the only one in the room that didn't.
Convert.
Oh, dude.
Really?
Ooh.
Defense.
There's your stop. There's your big stop. That
There's
is
9 again.
Isaiah
Yeah.
Anderson.
Same guy that
He
broke
had
Same
the
dude.
broke. He got the,
Flexing.
Same dude.
he had the pass breakup, which ended up being
Number
worse.
9.
go,
what?
Isaiah.
What a. Hold on.
And then
I see
he gets
you.
that pick. That is going to set them up in very positive field position here. What, the 27?
Hey, he's seconds as a quarterback as well.
How do you, what are y'all's thoughts right here? You come out, is it trick play, big play, off a turnover?
I think
do you
you're-
go cliche right here? Do
I
you
think
just
your
get lined
offense-
up and
I think
hand it to
your offense
Ruben?
will work. I think you hand it to Ruben. I
Just
think
give it to number 4.
I think it's been working.
Yep.
And if this were 7-7, this might be a different conversation. But I think you
Until they
stick
prove
to
they
what
can
you-
stop it.
Exactly right. You stick to what's been working.
Yep.
And until the game plan doesn't work, you don't change the game plan. Offensively, at least.
Trying to
You've
see
got the
if
big
that.
play defensively. That's
Trying to see if
that's
that
the biggest play in the game
Isaiah
right there.
Anderson's
Yeah, I
getting
mean, the
any.
only
He's
time
not
they get
getting.
stopped is the front.
Isaiah doesn't have a 247 sight. Like, come on, let's get this kid. But you know
on,
what?
Gabe
Hey,
Brooks.
hey, listen.
Call him out.
I'm still a recruiting nerd.
Ooh.
Hey, Shavers will know. This stage, one of the best to get noticed.
Yeah.
This
no
is when
doubt.
college could, like in these sort of situations on this stage, this is
deeper
when you
you
start
play.
turning heads. You know what I
And
mean?
when you're
Ruben's
playing-
limping a little bit,
And when you're
Tip.
playing against somebody
I
like
think
Ruben.
that
Exactly.
tackle right there may have took a
And
little
he's
bit
had
of
2
a
stops down this one. We weren't sure if we'd have any, and he's had 2.
toll on him.
Well,
Turn
here's the
some
thing.
heads.
He's got to suck it up and at least be a really good decoy. Oh yeah, he's
He's
there's a little
moving
hitches
very,
getting
very
up. He's
gingerly.
getting the ball.
Oh, until
my
he
God.
got the ball. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, he's.
It's my theory, right?
What y'all think about
Ooh.
that?
NBA basketball, you're limping until you get the ball, then you're
Did
running.
he get?
Exactly.
I think he got
But he
exactly
still
the first
looks-
down, and then I think he's a little.
He
hitching
still
that
looks a
video.
little, yeah.
little ginger.
Are they sending somebody in for
He
him?
kind of
No.
reminds me of like Bijan Robinson, how effortless, like his speed. Like he didn't
Bijan
look
was
like he was
bigger.
running as fast as he
Bijan was
was.
bigger.
He's bigger, but
Yeah.
like when his breakaway speed
Yeah.
though.
So I got to go out to Tucson and watch Bijan when he was in high school because that was my beat at the
Really?
Statesman at the
Yes.
time, and he was committed to Texas.
Yeah.
They're gonna
There
ride-
is very
ride their
there's-
horse.
Yeah,
He's,
they will.
he's in
That's what
that
you should
like
do.
handful of guys where like my mom could have shown up to that practice and I would have been like, hey, pick out.
Tap,
the
look
one
at him, man. He's slow.
That's going to Texas, and she would have been like,
He looked the part.
I mean, he just is special. Like he's just incredible. I mean, it looks like he was like sculpted.
Stan,
right? I mean,
what is Stan Drayton's doing something right because he was the reason he came to Texas.
Well, he has Ezekiel Elliott. And so that's kind of the pitch on the recruiting trail, right? Is like Zeke's a lot of people's favorite running back. A lot
Yep.
of this group generation's favorite
Yep.
running back. And so
Well, there's a reason they kept him around.
and there's a reason that
There's a
that's
reason
like
they
my-
kept
yeah,
Stan.
best
maybe.
position group and it's
Yeah.
supposed to
Good
be
better-
Texas.
better-
There's a reason
yeah,
Stan
better-
lasted, you know.
It's how
one holdover.
light he is on
Yeah,
his
he's very
feet
light,
that
yeah.
gets me because he's explosive out of the pocket, but then it's like he's prancing just waiting to make the next cut, and that's what I
You
think
can
is
tell he's
so
hurting.
crazy.
Ramont's Taylor is
Body language. Look at him right now, bending over in the huddle, man. He's hurt, but he's battling
Hey.
right now. battling
Win or go
right now.
home. I mean, like,
and you
this
got to
is- you know what I mean?
appreciate that for a guy his caliber, type of recruit that is, especially in a time where you got guys opting out.
Again, he's got the ball, I think,
Amen.
every snap.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
You got guys opting out.
You got
a
pre-donnas.
5-star kid like that, I'm assuming,
Yep.
still playing with injury.
Reminder, if we get to 1,000 viewers, we'll give away a recruiting edition. So tell your friends.
Oh, I thought it was a
Yes.
free
It's
T-shirt.
28-28. Pickle will draw something out of the Dave Campbell's prize bin.
Yeah, exactly. Also, just a reminder for everyone who's joining us, this is a watch-along, so the commentary is not your regular play-by-play and color commentary. If you would like
Yeah.
that, you can go to TexanLive.com. They do have the color
Oh,
Ooh!
You listen to my
John
dad,
Trey.
Are you saying
Davis.
Shaver's
Yeah.
analysis
Great.
is not what
we
people
just
come
have
for?
some people very confused about what we are doing here.
John
So I'm just
Davis.
trying to clarify. This is not play-by-play and color commentary.
They're
Somebody's
like-
like, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're like-
Feel like
we've
this-
gotten some
Yeah.
worse commentators I've
They're
ever
like-
heard.
they're
and I'm
like, what's that
"It's not what
blonde
we're
girl
doing
Mike
here."
Craven's the worst play-by-play guy I've ever heard. It's like,
I would be the worst play-by-play.
Talking about journalism.
Yeah.
Some-
John
There's
Trey
something
Davis
wrong
in
with
for the
that
touchdown.
blonde.
What
over
is
there?
the cloud?
John Trey Davis in for the touchdown, and El Campo capitalizes on the turnover. All right.
Also, it makes it great because I'm over here telling people that, and you can't even see me.
Yeah.
Who?
Okay,
who's
you
talking?
promised us your story, and then I want to hear Craven's, who, of all the people in the room, the newspaper G
Yeah,
did not get a journalism degree?
Psychology.
Wow. Oh, God. I don't want to know what you've made of me
Go ahead.
then yet tonight.
Yeah, mine is just the fact, like, when I was like 3 years old, my dad was in charge. He was the manager of a bowling alley, and I used to go up and ask him if I could grab the microphone to announce like the senior league on Tuesday. So this has been. I used to stand in front of my TV when Jim Spencer would do his weather thing, and I had a plastic sparkly microphone, and I would stand up there. I wanted to be a meteorologist forever until I got to 7th grade. I won a talking competition in UIL, and I was like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. I could do this.
A
And then
talking competition?
I realized I could do it with sports.
Erin's
and
so
put
jealous.
it all together. It was impromptu speaking.
You had talking
District champ.
competitions? Are you
Let's go.
kidding me?
District champ and impromptu speaking. And then I always loved playing sports. My mom signed me up for cheerleading when I was little, and after the first game I cried because I wanted to go play basketball with the boys. Like I literally was like, I don't like the pom-poms, and I threw them down. And so I've known forever that this is what I want to do.
That's awesome.
That's
Can I,
awesome.
I'm pretty sure I've covered Ashley Pickle in a basketball. 'Cause
Yeah.
Lano
Ooh,
was
she was
in,
Seriously?
Lano was in Taylor's,
Taylor's
district,
district.
when I was at the Taylor Daily Press. That was my first
Ooh,
job out of college.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so
You were
was
at
Pickle
Austin
awesome?
Taylor?
I was at the Taylor Daily Press Hutto News. That was my first job.
So did you know Trenton Kirkland? Were you there when he was there?
Yeah, he was there kind of at the end of my.
Gotcha.
I was there from like 2009 to 2013.
Awesome. Yeah, he's the
great.
offensive coordinator
Yeah,
at
he's
McKinney
great.
High. Yeah.
He was at that time. He was still just a quarterback. He was still doing just a quarterback
Training,
coach and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Came out there with Chase, right?
Yep.
Was training him.
Because
up.
Hutto was going from the option to a real offense.
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
they needed a quarterback coach.
Yeah,
Because
he
like
told me about that.
I love the option.
Dan
right?
Peterson.
Like Liberty
Oh,
Hill
my
guy. You
goodness.
know.
Oh,
I love the offense.
he's got to be down. He's got to be down.
Oh,
Gotta be down.
are you
Gotta be
sure?
down. Yeah, I thought he was down. Yeah, he's got to be down.
I just think you grow, you get to a certain classification where the slot T probably isn't your best bet anymore.
Yeah.
Hutto went from like 2A to 5A in like a 10-year span.
Yeah.
And you just can't run the slot T against like Lake Travis with Garrett Gilbert.
Right.
It's not,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So they were transitioned to a throwing offense, and they needed a quarterback guy, and then that's kind of how he came.
Yeah, because I believe, was he at Taylor before Hutto? I think.
Maybe so.
I think so. I could be wrong.
How about Garrett Gilbert winning a Super Bowl as a backup with New England?
Down. Oh,
Woo.
man. I'll tell you. This Clint Thurman, this
That's what
guy
I was
has
saying,
this
man.
guy is not
7 a game.
not very big, but man, he's taking a thumping and
Yeah.
he's getting up. He's like, all right, let's go.
He's
man."
got 6 carries for 61 yards.
They are
so he's
tough
averaging over
yards,
10
too.
yards per carry. I
They're
mean,
tough yards. Can I issue some breaking news?
absolutely.
We have lost our first defending state champion in Texas high school football. Motley County has defeated Balmaray tonight.
Wow.
68-44 in the 1A Division II
Wow.
regional semifinals. Ooh, he's open.
Still shout out Vance Jones.
Oh, face mask.
Wait, speaking
Yeah,
of Teb, we were talking about officials earlier. Wasn't Balmaray's state title game the one Crystal Cooksey
Yep.
called?
That's her. Out
First
there
female official to
Yeah.
call a state championship game
out
in
there
Texas.
at,
Women belong in sports.
Oh, here we go.
My guy.
dude. My
guy
dude.
Shavers.
It's true.
Just working the room, Tips.
I got a lot of respect.
He's a smart man, right, Big Ol'?
Even better.
Smart man.
Also been staring
Smart
at me on
man.
the back of that laptop the
Yeah,
whole
it's,
time.
it's on Pickle's
Yeah,
laptop.
in case you need a reminder.
That's
I love
right.
it.
New Deal and Forsan have a really good game going. 14-10. New Deal's leading in the third
Wow.
quarter. So
Way
we've
lower
got a
scoring than I thought it was.
banger going
I
on.
got a request. Sock and Frisco right
yeah,
now.
yes.
Can we get
Frisco update?
That's a big one.
We sure
Go
can.
get the,
you know Kyle Ward, right?
Sock up 14-3 in the second quarter.
Let's go,
You
Sock.
know Kyle Ward, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Death row.
Jason Todd, Kyle Ward, come on, man. Yeah, he was part of that Kimball crew.
I'm looking forward to seeing a Sausalito third round game.
Oh man, 3 Division 1. East Chambers was winning pretty handily over Academy. It's now 21-14. Swole Bees on top at halftime.
Bumblebees. Would you change?
Swole Bees.
Oh, he know. Oh,
The
I love it.
Swole
I love it.
Swole
You know.
Bees. Let's go, man.
Man. this
Would I
Peter-
change what, Tip?
I love
Would
it.
you change McKinney to the Bumblebees?
No. No.
What is the coolest mascot in Texas?
Ooh,
Might be
that's a
Man,
good.
you want to talk about getting people fired up? Put out your top 10
The ans-
mascot list. Your mentions are
The
done
answer
for.
is hippos
Yeah.
Hippos is excellent.
or sand crabs.
I love the Hamlin Pied Pipers. The
Yeah.
Swole Pipers, great.
But
Well,
then there's also
The Pied Piper story
Yep.
though is a little.
Yeah.
armadillos.
Leave the rats out of town.
Armadillos, come on, man.
Is it Grandview? That's the zebras?
The Grandview
Yeah.
is the zebras.
Zebras.
And then let
So
me
they're
tell
not
you.
zebras.
That's
Let me
not bad.
let me
You
tell
can say
you,
it.
their inflatable
Peterson.
tunnel
He's tough as nails,
Yeah.
man.
took center stage at state in what 2018.
It's what nightmares are made of.
Golly.
What that zebra man?
That inflatable zebra was like the
Was
biggest
that
hit of
Campo?
state.
Are they the favorite in this game?
Yeah, they're the favorite, I think. In my opinion, which,
Minus
as
7.
we've established earlier, wrong a
Oh,
lot.
Wampus Cats.
Wampus
I
Cats
can't
is
believe no
excellent.
one said that.
I'm a friend. I'm a
Yeah,
fan
Wampus
of the
Cats are
Frost
good.
Polar Bears.
The
Yeah.
winter blizzards.
Winter blizzards.
Winter blizzards.
We're
Winter
big
blizzards.
on if you've got a gift, just take it. Like winter blizzards.
Crane,
Yeah.
the golden cranes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's great.
Kermit should be the frogs.
Kermit should be the frogs or not. Yellow Jacket.
That that's
Oh.
a good.
It's a sin.
I will die on that hill.
Whoa, good
Oh.
play fake.
Should have just handed it to him.
Yeah, what? Up. Touchdown!
No
Okay!
way. No way.
Wait,
No.
seriously?
Let's go.
About 3 or 4 play
confused.
fakes, and the cameraman finally catches up, and on the other end
That's so. I
is
feel so
Nashad Lee.
The one who should have gotten the hand.
He got the long, and instead we got a touchdown. That
bad. Okay. My
That was-
brother-in-law is a photog. He's like the top camera photographer.
That's
Like
tough,
he
man.
does stuff for like freelances for ESPN, Big Ten, and he said that's like the most embarrassing moment.
Moment
Every time
you get faked- you get
bite on the
faked
play
out.
fake.
And then
You
he
bite
bite on the
fake.
play fake, and he's like, "Oh my god!"
Did anybody watch the Jackson State Southern game this past Saturday?
I did not know.
Man, it was on ESPN. Maybe it was 2 Saturdays ago. And it had to be the C team camera crew out there. There were several times where, camera big wide angles on the quarterback, balls thrown down the field, and it's still on the quarterback to where you can see the stuff that you never see when you're watching a football game, like quarterback adjusted his stuff while the guy's still trying to fight for
But they
extra
made sure to
yards.
get Dion in his wheelchair on the side, though, right?
Several
Okay.
times.
Okay, I was gonna say that
Several
camera
times.
seemed to work. That
Several
camera seemed to work.
times, yeah. I say, man, they rolled out the C team camera crew for the
Tough times, guys.
Do you remember when we had to interview Shadur for the Ford?
I remember.
But Dion didn't come. Who was it? His OC or something came in.
Yeah. What's up?
I am incredibly happy to announce we are currently sitting at 1,056
Let's
viewers.
go!
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
Considering we hadn't talked a whole lot of football.
Onside kick.
Onside kick.
People are clearly here
Lindale.
for nonsense.
Oh, mama.
Momentum.
Chris Cochran, thanks for tuning in to
Momentum.
Thanks for tuning
Hey.
in to the watch along.
Hey.
Lindale stealing the possession.
Great call, Chris.
Ooh.
35-35, and they got the ball back. Yeah, I would say, as I've always said, Coach, I think they have the momentum right now.
That's right. It's a real thing.
As I roll up the
The
camera
last
pickle.
best play.
Last best play. Yeah, exactly.
That's how I define it.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm talking about. Like we were talking about earlier. You've just gone down. You've gotten an incredible play for a touchdown. A good drive to go down there and get the touchdown. Believe in your kids and be like, guys,
What was your over?
let's lay it out there. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Like ride that confidence. That's
85 and a half.
again,
85 and a half. We got to say,
especially in high school.
I think the biggest thing with that is to go over to your defensive coordinator and say, hey, man,
if this doesn't work,
y'all good?
yeah,
Y'all got me?
that's exactly right.
But wouldn't the defensive coordinator just go like, it doesn't matter? I mean,
if this doesn't go
if they're
well.
scoring, they're going to go on a 70-yard scoring drive or a 50-yard scoring drive.
I got to think that the defensive coordinator at some point is like, well, this is the drive. We're getting to stop. Let's pin them deep.
See, that's that false arrogance.
Like, I just don't think that there's ever a drive where they're like, all right, man, let's just see if we can make them, if they can score in more plays than they did the last series.
Peterson, deep ball. Oh,
What was the
just
most
got it
right off
offensive
his
game you were ever a
fingertips.
part of, where your defense was like literally our one stop might be the difference? Like if we get one.
Man, I hadn't been in many of those like big time shootouts like
Your defense
that.
is too good.
Yeah, I just
you're
had.
talking to a
I've
defensive
been
lineman,
fortunate enough to be in.
But think about it. There are some studs on the
Yeah.
defensive side
Yeah.
here. It's just like their
They are.
offenses. Both offenses are just so potent.
We had a game against Plano last year. It took 2 days to finish the game due to a lightning delay.
I remember that game.
Oh
And
my
we were
God.
back and forth, and it was like, golly, if we can just hold them to a field goal in this game, we can go
Who's
get
the
a win.
left guard? This is, as speaking as a former left guard, the left guard for Lindale is doing some work right now.
Shout out to the Boss Hogs. I love it, Tip.
I think it's
Hog
I think
mollies.
it's Keeler Miller. I think it's 55.
Hog mollies.
Maybe? No, it's 75. They got him lined up there. 75. Casey Poe. Shout out Casey Poe. Doing some work. Got blown up there, but he did his job.
Hey, I want to know what the trench diet is like in like high school and college.
Whatever you want.
You know how they
Yeah, as
was
much as
it
you
before
want.
bowl games? Don't they have like the linemen eating contests and stuff?
work.
Like
Yeah, they
before-
do.
That's-
They do.
Did you ever do
Depending
one?
on- I didn't participate in one. I did in high school though. I played in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. It was awesome. It was in San Antonio, and there
Love
was a
it.
wing eating competition.
Ooh,
Got down in it. I didn't win
Was
it.
Craven
I think,
part of
No.
Craven's crushing all the.
I wasn't
Craven's crushing
invited
the
to
linemen.
You know-
Craven's annihilating
You
all
know
the
who
linemen.
won it though? I mean, Ndamukong Suh.
You were in there with Dominic?
Yeah.
I'm a Nebraska
He was in the
fan.
back.
Yeah,
I remember
seriously.
all.
Yeah. He
I was in. I was class. I was class of 05, and man, we had some who's who football players in that, and I think that's the best one of all time, the best U.S. Army
That's like
All-American
Vince,
Bowl.
right?
No.
Was
I
it?
think Vince was maybe like 03. So 05, I was on the West. Mark Sanchez was our quarterback.
Ooh. Okay.
We had Mark Sanchez, Martellus Bennett, tight end.
Are you
We had
kidding
him.
me?
He was rocking. Roy Miller was on our D line from Texas. You remember him? And Ndamukong Suh actually played O-line in that game. He was a left tackle. Yeah.
Oh my God! Did
Offensive
he
line.
play both sides or
Yeah.
just O
If y'all remember, this was the game where Deshaun Jackson had the long touchdown run. He was on our team. He was on the West. Long touchdown run. He drops the ball at the 1 yard line before he crosses.
Ooh.
Trying to do the flip or whatever.
Yeah,
Did he-
yeah.
Didn't make it.
Tried to flip into the end zone.
I was at UTSA at the time, so I was
Yeah.
at that game.
You
Awesome.
were?
Yeah.
We met the
I
real.
loved covering the Army
We met the
All-American
real
Bowl.
Harmon
Loved covering.
Boone. He came from Remember
really?
the Titans, the actual, not Denzel, but the actual guy. From Remember the Titans.
Oh.
I think, him and Yost, right? Is that what
Yeah.
his name?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
88
Okay,
was wild.
yeah.
Oh,
Good play.
Bunch of good players in there.
okay. That was my first fangirl moment of the night. I was like, you
Ray
played with the Dominic
Ray
Suh?
Maluga. There's
Oh,
some
that was
awesome
pretty
guys
good.
What's
in
that
there.
experience like,
Got the
right?
stop.
Like, because you don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it's also not like football, right? Like you're
Yeah.
not going to take it as intensely as like the South Lake Carroll.
Yeah,
game,
right,
So like,
right,
how
right.
do you kind of like? Because
It was competitive. Like, we were down there during the week, and practices were extremely physical.
Yeah.
The game was extremely competitive, and we did. It was real football being played. From what I remember, the practices were physical. It was a lot of fun to go down there, and it was. I remember it being a really, really competitive game. We knew the history of it.
Ruben.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Ruben. On the end around, he cuts it back.
he's hurt.
Here's the thing. He's done that a couple of times tonight.
Cramping
Where
a
he's,
Whoa.
I don't know if he's
Yeah, is it
cramping or something.
maybe it
but I'll
is.
tell you,
Business decisions.
I don't even know if it's that, but I think he's like, I think probably Worrell's told him to be like, if you don't got to take a hit, like, we hopefully got 4 more games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, Like, let's be smart about this and get what you need. And if you're going to take, if the answer is get one more yard,
Right.
59 versus 58 and a hit or not.
Do you have that conversation with the high school kid though, as a coach?
Tough. Like, I wonder if you got.
Because I agree with you. I think that's what you would.
Whoa!
God.
What a stiff arm.
Little stiff arm from hell there from
Smush face.
from John Trey Davis. Good.
Again, that kid's gonna start. He's gonna turn
He
more
has
heads.
to. I mean, we focused so much on the one player, and then it was
I saw he had
out
like
of nowhere.
two offers maybe, and they
Listed
were,
as a running back and a defensive end. You always like those
Excellent
guys.
stuff. Good flat belly off the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jatavian Sanders.
right. The best ability is availability
That's right.
and versatility, right?
How much can you do?
Where can I put you?
Yeah, 8 carries for 65 yards and 4 receptions
John
for
Trey.
75
John
yards.
Trey Davis.
Oh.
John Trey Davis. Touchdown
Not
to Campo.
I see you, John Trey.
Oh.
And the Rice Birds have retaken the lead.
John Trey.
Turned a defensive stop into
gosh.
a 41-35 lead, extra point pending.
I'd
This is
also
a
like it
banger.
It was a great
noted.
game, guys.
So good.
I'd also like it noted.
Not to mention
Craven
it's
did
very,
set it at
very
85 and a
punchy.
half. Craven set it at 85
not,
and a
not
half.
high enough.
Yeah, that was.
Not high
Very,
enough.
very punchy football game.
So we're at what? We're at
We're 70 right now.
71.
82
yeah.
now.
Yeah. About to be
Yeah,
82.
we'll be passing that this quarter, I think.
Or, no, 77.
77.
77.
I'm a Raiders
We'll
fan.
be hitting the
We're
over. We'll be
77.
hitting the over this quarter.
El Campo, 42. Lindale, 35. Tell your friends to get to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to watch Lindale and El Campo here on the DCTF Watch Along. If you
Snap
like this
'em.
kind of things, we've got playoff games all the way up to AT&T Stadium on TexanLive.com. Go subscribe. Marcus Shaver's a subscriber. And if it's good enough for Marcus Shavers, what are you saying? You're better than Marcus Shavers?
Yeah. What are you saying? Better than me?
Wait. He met him at camera too on that one time.
He did.
He
Yeah.
met them at camera
I'm
too.
picking up all the
all
notes.
of that. Coach
Yeah.
earlier was like, I've grown. And then
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
look
Better
over
than
the
me.
camera.
Excuse you?
Better than
What are
me.
you saying?
Excuse
Stare down
you.
the barrel.
Personal foul you
all right.
right now.
Okay, well, so Lindale, here's the thing. So Lindale got the touchdown, gets the onside kick. They get stopped on 4th down. El Campo strikes back and gets the touchdown, right? I think this is an important drive for Lindale. You've thrown a real haymaker, and El Campo's kind of come back and found a way to counter it. I think for Lindale, you go down here and you score, easy peasy, we're back at square one. But if you don't score here and you're giving the ball back to El Campo up 7, especially after kind of the haymaker you've thrown,
We got about
Start to worry.
2:45 left in the third.
2:45 left in the third.
Momentum.
So
Rice
with all
Birds.
those words that you just said, Tip, are you saying that El Campo
Welcome
has
to
the
our world.
momentum?
I'm saying that El Campo has got to be brimming with confidence right now, Coach. Although a special teams play can certainly change it. Ooh,
Ooh.
this is an ankle away.
Yeah.
You can't leave the ankle behind.
Speaking of AT&T Stadium and a Texas high school football fun fact for you, did you know
Here we go.
that Florida, the state of Florida's highest classifications state title game, gets fewer people than our 6-man state title games?
I didn't know that, but I'm glad I do.
That's Texas. Right?
This
That's
is
Texas high school.
Texas.
That's Texas. Hey, that's Texas high school football,
That's what we
right?
do.
Our
Texas
6-man
high
games
school
get more
football.
people.
Shout out 6-man football.
You know, I think our 6A games have more than some college bowl games. Most,
Most, yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out Danny Davis for that.
Yeah, Danny. If Danny's watching, he's happy about
Danny
that.
Davis of the Austin American Statesman is often fond of getting very mad at people pointing out how many people are at the state championship.
Really?
games
Not a fan of that?
Versus like the New Mexico Bowl or something
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
Yeah. Subscribe to Prep Media.
I do.
I love it though. I love the turnouts.
I like that they've gone to the central location. Like I remember, like going to see Cedric Benson at DKR against Westlake, for example, where
Yeah.
like, you didn't get to just sign up for a full day of football.
Yep.
You had
Yeah.
like one game, and you know.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that it's always in Dallas because I do have
Yeah.
DFW bias.
Says man
Well,
who now
you have a
lives in
certain
DFW.
kind of
Says the man who
It's
got-
not
So, Mike, you
Wait.
know, my first ever Texas high school football playoff game was in 7th grade. A friend of mine's dad drove me to Austin to DKR to watch Midland Lee play the Woodlands.
Yeah.
I think it was Cedric Benson's senior year.
Peterson.
Amendola.
Ooh, cut back.
Amendola may have been on the Woodlands team
Switch
that
the
year.
arms. Oh, beautiful.
Ooh,
I think it was. I don't know if it was a state game or a semifinal. I can't
Probably
remember.
Oh, that's awesome. Though.
Can't remember, but yeah.
Because they beat
Amendola and
Trinity
Cedric
one of
Benson.
those years. They beat Westlake one of those years.
That was the moment that I remember, and I promise you, not just saying this in front of the screen, just because that was the moment that I remember. And I was like, I want to play high school football. Because I had never seen that many people at a high school football game and couldn't believe that many people were watching high school football.
Awesome.
Like
We
Midland
knew he was
League.
going to Texas.
Yeah.
And so if you were an Austin guy,
Gotcha.
you're a UT fan, it's like, man, the next Ricky Williams is playing a high school football game at DKR. And so you had probably as many UT fans in the stadium as you did like Midland Leaf fans or whatever. Because it was you didn't have huddle.
Yeah.
You didn't have huddle and stuff. It was like
couldn't see him.
You've heard about this guy in West Texas like putting up these numbers or whatever, like let's go see him before he's playing at UT next year. And then you like watch him and you're like, holy.
I hate to like bring up like a sad subject because obviously Cedric Benson's no longer with him. But when he passed away, we were talking about him on the show, and he was, because of when he came along, he was the last mythical figure. Right?
Yeah.
Because there wasn't
agree.
film, you couldn't see him, but then like you saw him, but all you heard tell was like, man, he ran for 350.
Get in there, Lindale.
It's Evan Harford on the other end.
Goodness
And Lindale
gracious.
strikes back. Wait, why are we all running back to the huddle?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
That doesn't look like a fun.
Why aren't we
That doesn't look
celebrating?
like a fun
That's
job.
Yeah.
their second touchdown.
That doesn't look like
Oh,
a celebratory
God.
We're
jog.
talking lineman downfield.
Must
Looks
have
like we
been.
missed it.
That is a
Linemen pointing at each other. I'm assuming
that might
lineman
come back to
downfield.
bite.
That is a
might come back to
heartbreaker.
What a
bite.
killer.
That's number 2.
Yeah, it's the second one they've had
That's gonna
taken
come
off
back
the board.
to second.
Oh man, the second touchdown they've had
Man,
taken off the board.
Lord.
Oof.
And what a move he made.
Oh my god.
mean,
I know.
He put him
came
on
back
ice.
to the ball, went and got it.
What does that make it down in distance? Do we know?
It's going to be 3rd and, boy, 20.
In a long way.
Yeah, 3rd in a long time. 3rd in a ways. We may be in punt danger
yikes.
here. Sam Pearson's a warrior, man.
He really is.
He is.
Have we seen a punt?
We haven't.
Could this be our
That
first
was-
punt?
Turnovers and
Ooh.
So that was second.
Turnover
That must
on
have been
downs.
second down. So now it's 3rd down.
Okay.
We're working on down and distance, guys, I promise. But Cedric Benson, he was such a mythical figure. Like, you would hear, like,
hey, he's in Midland.
yeah, Midland, like, out in the middle of nowhere.
Those
Like,
were-
if he was
ran
in
for
Dallas
he ran for
or-
250 on Odessa Permian.
Tho-
All you had to do was take their word for it.
Those were
You know
the
what I mean?
days college football coaches miss in recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could keep a guy. Tom Osborne loved that. You could keep guys' secrets up until signing day.
Peterson.
Now you can't.
See?
With social media.
Missed him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like
didn't-
so recruiting is so different
I heard
now
some
with social
stories
media.
about Tom Osborne in Nebraska and how they used to recruit back in the days, like in the Grant Wistrom days, and why they were so good. You know, just about they had some rule.
those
I
were
can't
the-
remember
those
the
were the days
details
up
of
there,
it,
Shavers.
but they could get as
been a while.
many kids from in-state to come. I can't remember.
But
They
again,
would,
but
they
it-
would qualify them as walk-ons.
Yeah.
But they weren't paying for school.
Exactly.
you know,
Mm-hmm. There were ways around the
So you
tuition
had
thing.
120 scholarship players.
Yes.
On Nebraska's greatest
There
team.
we go.
And you had a strength and conditioning program. Because my grandfather was a S&C guy. Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so
Flag? Got there
Nebraska's
early?
was kind of the
Nope.
Hey, two been locking
where they
down.
tested a lot
Good.
of different chemicals, right?
That's
You know, like
Yeah.
they were on the front foot.
Hey, we
of a
also
lot of
just
the
had
80s
those
stuff.
corn-fed big old boys
Now
from
we're
the
gonna see
farms
punt.
out in like western Nebraska that could just
First punt.
lock down the
Actual punt,
O-line, right?
Yeah, all it's going to take is 4th and 24 or whatever. And they're like, yeah, I guess we'll punt. Okay. Man, that penalty's a killer.
Yep.
Penalty is a killer.
It really is. Also, if we start getting into sad Lindale territory, we do need to shout out the best little Eagle fan out there, Mr. Kobe Tate.
Shout out Kobe Tate.
He is
He's
the
my man.
cutest
That's
little
the-
Eagle
that's
fan
the
that I have
son of
ever seen in my. It's the
Lindsay
son of
and
Coach
Chris Cochran.
Yeah, and Coach.
Oh yeah.
He's the most adorable
I've seen him.
thing that
That's
you will ever
he
see.
did- they did a-
I
He's a proud.
follow Coach on Twitter, and I love when he posts pictures of his
He
family.
did a Whataburger baby shoot.
Love it.
They did. It was the
Whataburger.
cutest.
I was like,
and-
Forget being Gerber baby. I want to
was-
be a Whataburger
I was
baby.
jealous.
I wanna
didn't
be a
do that
Whataburger
when my
baby.
son's too old
Oh,
now, but
no.
it's like
Yeah, no man, he'll get out
he
there.
doesn't even
They'll
eat
put.
kids meals anymore.
Oh, no. Please, man.
Number one.
Number one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Respect.
Hey.
But he still wants the toy. So I try to. It's like always a long
He wants to know if the
conversation.
number one
like,
comes with the
That was
toy.
like,
So can I have the number one with the toy? That's like you must have a huge 7-year-old in your back seat right now. Go to Walmart.
Hey, start them early.
That's right.
Start them early.
So
I feel that because in first grade I wanted to wear light up shoes like all the other girls in my grade, but I was already in a size 6 women's shoe, so I couldn't wear them. So mad. I'm
the
still
light up
about
shoes.
it. They all
the
had them.
light
I was
up
the only one.
shoes.
Only one.
The light up shoes.
fourth quarter.
I wanted a toy.
Winning time.
Already in a
Is that what time it is?
Everybody put up
I
the
wanted
fours.
a toy.
Do you know
I
that?
wanted a
Have you ever
toy.
seen this?
They have the
People
LA
put up
lights
the
and
fours.
women's.
I do see
women's
that.
sizes.
Okay, that was like,
Not
you remember
fair.
like back in the day, like the McDonald's kids meal
I had a
would
coach,
have like a girl
defensive
toy and
coordinator
a boy
in college
toy.
who said, I hate
Can't get
that.
away with that today.
I did
But
it
it's
like
like,
in
but I was
college.
got the Barbie and it
And I
was
was
like,
like,
I
fourth
wanted
quarter, got my fours up.
What was it? What were
I hate
the
that. Why we were in the first quarter? Why
Hot
didn't you do
Wheels.
that
I
in the
wanted a
first
Hot
quarter?
Wheels. Do you
Hell, the
remember that?
third would have been a good one for you to make a tackle.
Craven's
Put your
just laughing
threes
at me.
up.
We were talking about back
Sorry.
in the day. Remember McDonald's like the kids
were
meals would
talking
have a
about
girl toy and a boy
fourth
toy.
quarter,
Yeah.
And just because I was a girl, they thought I like wanted the little Barbie, but it was like, no, I want the Hot Wheels. Like, why can't I?
I felt that.
Right?
That
Yeah.
resonated with me.
I'm still like that. Still ticks me off to this day. I'm getting really heated.
Well, that's why they don't do it anymore.
I
That's
know.
why I can't do it anymore.
I know.
Whole
A
generation
lot
of
of
kids
things.
mad at
A
McDonald's.
lot of things changing.
Hey, Pickle, have you gotten any vlog content?
No.
Okay. See, I'm always cracking the whip here. I'm a jerk.
Oh, hey,
What's a
did I
vlog?
send you the one of Tepper's butt groove?
You did. Say hi to
Man.
the vlog. We got watch along going on. Craven, Tep, Shavers,
I didn't know what to do, so I
Hartigan.
just stuck my tongue out. I don't know. I panicked.
Chunk up the deuce.
I panicked.
We've got a banger going on there. 42-35.
Oh, he's got some space.
Oh my lord! Oh my gosh! Here we go.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds.
Oh no!
He knew it was church too.
Oh.
And start singing semisonic closing.
Should we start singing a hymn?
That was oh man. Must have tiptoed along the line, but man. All right, I'll just say it. Reuben Owens, one of the 22 best players on the field.
No, say what you actually wanted to say. Reuben Owens. He rules.
He
Hey.
does rule. Reuben Owens rules.
Tepper's
He's great.
Mike, can Reuben Owens do this in District 5-6A?
Ooh, here we go.
He wouldn't do it like this, right? I mean, he'd still be maybe the best player on the field and put up a lot of yards and get a lot of attention. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge jump. He would be around. There's not guys on Lindale's defense that can run with him.
Yeah.
He would come up against some players that could like get some angles on him.
50-yard runs end up being 25
Right.
type deal.
Right.
Still good though. No
Yeah, I
doubt
mean,
about that.
he'd still be, all district and, everything like that.
Hey, I was
Yeah.
curious. You were talking about Bijan a minute ago. Who are his top 3 coming out? I know he went to Texas. Who else was he considered?
Ohio State was probably going to be the next one.
Good job.
Oh,
I don't know who number 3 was. It did feel like a 2-team battle between Ohio State and Texas, and he really chose Texas because of Stan Drake.
Gotcha.
What year did he come out again?
19.
Okay, so then how many years would Herman have been at Texas at that point? Trying to remember when he came aboard after Charlie.
I think it was his second or third recruiting class.
Might have been 8.
Where's Coach Herman? right
2018.
now?
No, because he was
2018.
He was the 2020 class because it was the 2019 season I went to see him.
Okay.
Tom Herman's
okay.
on the staff of the Chicago Bears.
Really, right
Yes,
now?
Yes. He's like an analyst.
Because I just remember Drayton coming
Wow.
down with Tom to
Kinda like
Texas
low-key
from Ohio State, so I wasn't sure like when.
How do they come
Bijan
about
was
doing
looking
that?
there.
Just get an opportunity, say I'm going to go get an apartment up in Chicago, stay locked in football?
I guess that's right. You go to the Mike.
Because it's not really
football
about
barn.
money
Well,
for that guys like that at that
if you
point
take
in time.
certain jobs, that contract buyout gets X-nayed.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take an off-the-field job that doesn't count against your contract so he
Yeah.
can keep getting paid by Texas and get
Yeah.
paid by the Bears. It's beautiful.
I was
Beautiful.
watching
I
Dan
love
Quinn,
America.
the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, the other night talk about, when he got fired for the Atlanta Falcons, he was down in dumps, and he said, man, I went to Hawaii for 2 weeks to try to
Chantre.
get my mind right.
Sean Trey.
I think that's what I need to do.
John Trey.
After
Hey,
a tough season,
Yeah.
Hawaii 2 weeks.
Go,
We
dis-
don't
go
play like the
disconnect, man.
Falcons,
If
though.
you need somebody to go with, though.
Go
We
disconnect.
don't pay like the Falcons. I'm trying to go Choctaw.
What leg?
for 2 days. You know, that's my splurge.
Hey,
An island unto itself.
hey,
Like, I get to go down and hang out with everybody at the slots and be like, I'm the guy at the slots
Hey.
that has a room here.
I just want to
Okay.
make it to Durant.
Actually have a
Slots
room
night. Have you
here.
ever seen the slots tournaments
John
that they do where
Trey
you're just like literally sitting there going,
and-
Oh, good run.
have you ever seen those in Vegas?
Slot tournament.
Have you? Did she win one?
No, I'm saying if she
Have you
don't
ever
say
seen
it out
those in
loud,
Vegas?
she's
They're
watching,
crazy.
she'll be at
The
one.
slot tournaments. You're literally just like sitting
All
there
right.
pushing the button for like
All
an
right,
hour.
I'm going to say this. I think Lindale's got to be real tired of tackling these guys. Because every one of these guys back there, whether it's Owens, whether it's Davis, all run hard. And, like, you just wonder, there's 10 minutes left in this game? You wonder if they're just getting tired of tackling them. Because they're taking a punishment on both sides of this. This has been a physical football
El
game.
Campo's O-line has a lot of size
Yeah,
and
you know.
physicality.
They're big.
They're
real
big. 70, I mean, big kid.
70
I know the
big boy.
camera adds 15 pounds, but I don't think
I saw them in person. They're big.
I know.
Yeah, they look
They're
huge
just as
up
big as you
front.
Hey,
think.
who are you telling?
They're smashing people up front.
You mentioned 70.
What's Rick's joke?
Yeah, 70.
70, I'm looking.
Which one?
He's like,
Love you, Rico.
Rick does it. The camera adds 10 pounds. I must have at least 10 on me. Hey, bottom show. Like,
Six,
okay.
Point at the camera.
Love it, yeah.
That's Kerry North. He
Love
lists
Rick.
himself at 6'1",
Love Rick.
265. 4A football, that'll play.
That's huge.
That's a big boy. All right. Ruben, closing time. Closing time. Ooh.
Keep fighting the good fight, Lindale.
They are like now they bowed up down here before. But they've got to now.
Golly.
You go
They're
down
making,
two
they're making up
scores.
for those offensive,
You go down 2 scores and that
Holdouts,
might
right?
be
How frustrating
Yeah,
is
that's
that?
tough.
Yeah, you're not a
very.
big playoff.
like y'all and carrying your way.
Yeah,
we're
El
trying
Campo 4A Division One, they're looking like the favorite. I mean, when I was at Estacado, we lost to Hershey second round one year. We played Argyle first round one year, so that was what we were in. And looking at these guys,
John
imagine.
Davis. Got it.
A little block from Owens.
to- Ooh,
Very nice. That's easy money.
ooh.
El Campo up 48-35 and looking in control late here.
Teb, let me ask you, who's the favorite on the other side? Or-
For Division 1?
Yeah.
Depends on who you like in Region 2. Could be Stephenville, could be Melissa, could be Argyle, could be...
Ooh, hey, Melissa, you seen
Love
Michael La
Melissa.
Vega?
Melissa's
La Vega?
trenches?
Loving Melissa.
Ooh, Melissa,
Well, Melissa,
Trenches for Melissa.
the one they hung their hat on was beating Argyle. And they beat
Yeah.
them 21-0.
Soundly.
I mean, impressive.
Stephenville?
I mentioned Stephenville.
Did you?
I did.
I thought you missed him.
I
I was
did
like, that was
not.
my picture in the region.
Run back the tape. Got it. They are. I think Stephenville can win it. I think whoever comes out of Region 2 is gonna play. Well, because here's the other thing. So let's say El Campo wins Region 3. Coming out of Region 4 is probably Austin LBJ, the #1 team in the state.
Ooh.
So you could have LBJ and El
Jamal
Campo.
Fenner.
That'll be
Jamal
good.
Fenner.
I'm into that. Coach, as you know, I know every coach thinks I hate their team, right? I don't actually hate
He
their
does.
team.
I know.
What I want to be entertained, right?
Yeah.
I want 2 great teams go like this. This
Chaos.
is I am entertained.
But you take great pride when you're right about other people's teams being bad. Like
No,
if you,
no,
yeah, I think you
no, I'm going
do.
to push back on that.
No.
If I call my shot and I say I think this team's actually going to be pretty good, and nobody thinks it, and they are actually good,
Take pride in that.
Then he takes part, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'll let loose a little bit. But like I don't relish in teams.
He might throw a
I think
dab
I don't.
No,
I
no,
wouldn't have it
no.
here.
I don't think
know
you
what
do
I mean?
it publicly, but
No,
I think when you look and you go back and you look at all the district standings and you say, okay, I thought
All right.
1 through 7 it'd be this way and it ends up that way. I knew McKinney
right.
would be
All-
6.
Especially
over.
if like the
No, no, no.
coaches in that fan base
No.
let you know, like, oh, I can't believe you picked us 6. I can't believe
Yes.
you picked us.
I
6.
can't bring
And they
myself
finish
to
up his fun
say
for him.
anything
It's
about
nice.
it.
Look,
I'll just
all
wait
I'm
to see
saying
him.
is that Dave Campbell's in little pooch kick. Give
Coaching
him a good
convention
field
is
position.
fun
Get
for him
down.
because he gets
Yeah,
to hear about
take
it from
it.
every coach he comes
Take a
across.
DDT.
Get
there.
down.
Yeah, that almost did look like a DDT.
Oh.
Just drop on him.
The best is when Tep gets grief from coaches that
We
he
got-
picks to be favorites because
the
then they
ones-
don't like
we
having
hear
that
more
target
from
on their
coaches
back.
when we rank them too high.
Oh
than too
yeah,
low.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Danaher.
A
But we got-
lot of
we got-
sandbagging
I'll just
coaches
say,
out there.
in
They don't
the
want to be
2021
first.
magazine-
They get so mad.
In the 2021 magazine, we got 82.5% of the playoff teams in the UAL right. 82.5. I think I'll take that.
It's pretty good.
That's it's not perfect. We want that to be 100%.
All of your state champ picks are still standing, right?
Yes.
You just lost some regional final picks.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I took a bloodbath. They've been
I was
killing it with his
thinking
screen.
regional
Oh
my
no.
goodness.
That could be church.
Dude, that might be. Yeah, that's.
That is. It's.
Oh
It's
my
David.
God, you guys.
It's David Ursery on the interception. That we've been talking about. Middle screen's been a money
Lindale
play for Lindale.
defenseman.
Yeah.
Got away from the
Like,
quarterback
as a
there.
competitor,
tough.
like
And
because you're like
Ursery.
standing, like there's
Yeah,
nothing you
that's
can
tough.
do. There's nothing you can do.
So that's big.
8:45.
So
45 to go.
So we talk to our players a lot in that situation right there. It's 49-35. Y'all, we talk about the 14-point theory. I learned this from Joe Martin. He was my high school football coach, and he talked about at any point in time in a football game where a team was either up 14, down 14, the next drive, the winner of that next drive has like some number that I don't remember, 75, 80% chance of winning the game. And we would practice it. So we'd go out there as a defense and say, hey, we're down 14. This is the drive after the game's been put at a 14-point swing.
I buy that.
And what happens is, so if you if you just pay attention to it, the team that wins the next drive has an 80% chance to go win the game. So if you're a team that's down 14 and you go back out there on offense and say you score, or you're down 14 and you go out on defense and you get a stop, your team has an 80% chance of going to win that football game.
What? Because they have what?
Just because they won the next drive after the game was at 14.
Momentum.
That's what I'm looking for. There you go. Hey, see, listen, I listen every once in a while.
It was a double
Momentum.
assist. I
There
got
we
the
go.
dunk on it. Don't worry.
There we go.
It took an extra
Yeah.
count.
Yeah.
She's
It
throwing
takes
the,
that.
she's throwing the
It's okay.
lob against
Yeah.
Hey, I was
I
She-
lobbed it up,
And
it
then
was
you
just
had to go
shapers,
back
but-
off the
yeah.
backboard.
I was gonna say, I got your putback. Don't
Double
worry.
off the backboard.
I got your putback.
Dunk
Shavers.
it.
Don't worry.
But yeah, man, 14-point swing.
And Ruben Owens might be about to call ball game.
Bust
The
it
next
wide
score
open.
is a very important score for some people.
For entertainment purposes.
The very next
That-
drive
84
already
points.
happened.
We're at 84
Yeah.
points
That
right
is
now.
interesting.
For entertainment
Yeah.
purposes.
Is we would practice that though.
Yep. No,
And
That
it's
is
interesting,
Makes
and I
sense.
challenge you when you watch football games to pay attention to when the game gets to that point
Yeah.
of 14, and then see who wins the next series, and just see if 80% of the games
Well,
are.
especially you talk
won
about
by
like
that.
first play. First play, you go to a play that's been working for you all night. Listen, the middle screen's been money for us, and it gets picked off. It's like
Yeah,
that just from like between the ears, that feels like a killer. You know.
no doubt. Definitely takes the
There's a
momentum
team
out
with
of the
championship
team.
pedigree in Lindale. We'll see. I'd say it's not over. They got an
Hey,
opportunity.
do you
but
remember
gotta
that?
get
Was it
stuff here.
Lindale, Austin, LBJ last year? In the
Yeah, and they went
Semifinal.
lately.
Ooh, that was
That was a
fun.
fun game. That was and LBJ.
Man.
Yeah, Campo's starting to feel it. When the offensive linemen are pumping up the crowd, then they're starting to feel it.
Hey, that's scary. Scary to see. So when I was at Allen playing high school football, I never played against like animated O linemen, like O linemen that got,
They got hyped up, yeah.
because that was intimidating to me. I thought O linemen were soft. That was as a defensive lineman, they were just quiet, more introverted guys, and I was more out there animated. And I'm like,
If they were
"Man,
more
son."
athletic, they'd be playing defensive line.
It's my thought. And you never, and then when they would get excited, it would be intimidating. I never saw it really. And we had good old linemen at Allen, never fired up, like just very laid back. And I get to the SEC, and you look down at warm ups and pre games, and you're playing Georgia or Ole Miss, and they got linemen dancing, shaking their dreads, and they're 6'6", 320. And as a D lineman, I'm down there like, oh man,
They got some swag.
that's different.
They got the D-line swag on the O-line,
Yeah,
right?
man, that's a little
They're
intimidating
here,
when you
they're here
see
for a fight.
Yeah.
when you see the old linemen down there kind of doing the same stuff. The receivers, it's intimidating. It's intimidating.
Yeah,
Okay, what did you eat before? What was your go-to meal like before a game?
Whatever the meal was, whatever they fed us,
Whatever
I didn't know if you
we
were like
ate.
superstitious.
No,
I was
not
kinda-
at
I
all.
was
We ate
kinda
what we could get.
superstitious.
It was prime rib, is what we ate at Arkansas before every
Okay.
game. High school was Dickies, and I just ate everything
yum.
they had. Yeah,
See, I might not look like a lineman, but I think I got the heart of a lineman.
yeah.
Everything Shavers has been
You got
saying.
the
I'm
stomach
like,
of a
yeah.
You
lineman.
feel that,
I'm like,
pickle?
okay,
Let's
Yeah,
be honest, you
man.
definitely have the
That's
appetite of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
But
was-
she just
Yeah.
doesn't look like a
Yeah.
lineman.
Every
I want
time.
every
We
time
take
Pickle
you in our
posts, like,
fraternity,
photos of
Ashley.
food,
We got
She
you.
posts all these food photos, and I'm like,
We got you, Ashley. You could be in the
You know what I
lineman
mean? No, I
fraternity
love
for
it.
sure.
Right.
Do you
That's
agree,
what's up.
Tepper?
Pickle can put
You
him
know
away.
it.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
I'm into it. Ruben Owens breaking a tackle You gotta beat him to the edge.
Oh,
See, number 19 just should have just kept running to
Which
the
hymn are we
sideline
singing,
just in
Pickle?
case.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
like,
that, my
Man.
friend,
You almost have
Is
to
that
guess.
5 for him?
So here's goodness gracious.
The
Here's his
overhit.
stat line: rushing yards, 32 attempts for 310 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had 1 reception for 38 yards.
as advertised.
He's averaging 9.7.
Is he gonna play
yards
college
per-
football with the Manning quarterback? Arch.
I mean,
They are tight.
I heard they were tight.
They are tight. 7-on-7 makes some weird bedfellows.
Yeah.
You know, guys start playing with each other that otherwise wouldn't really have any
Preseason, I saw Arch and Reuben Owens both going to Texas. Not so much now.
You know, we've talked about that in the office. If you're Sark, has your recruiting gotten easier or harder? Because I could argue that you can go into some players' rooms right now and be like, hey, there's spots open,
Yeah.
right? Like every single, you want to come, because kids want to play right away
You could
now.
hit the field
Yeah.
right
And
away.
you
Yep.
can go to those big time
Yeah.
recruits and be like, I mean, you've seen our results. Every
Yeah.
single, unless, you know, running back is really the only spot that Texas is like set at
Right.
next year.
Does Bichon take off or do?
By the way,
He's
that-
still got another year, and I don't see him transfer.
Okay, so he's not gonna.
Can I
I
show
don't
you
see
something?
it.
That touchdown, 4th and 1. That was a 4th and 1 play, and they were just like
Best play.
Going for the throat. Let's give the ball to our best player, and let's win the ball game. And they probably just did. It's impressive. It's impressive. You guys should.
El Campo
You
Yeah. You
schedule
Believe her? You believe her?
in El Campo.
What? Yeah.
you got him. You got
Yeah.
him at AT&T.
Yeah,
I mean.
against Melissa.
Okay. You heard it.
Hey, our
I'm
friend,
into that.
Our friend
I
Ashley
would be
Rosh.
entertained.
Our friend Ashley Rosh,
Yes.
Emmy award-winning photographer Ashley Rosh for Bally Sports Southwest. Her brother is the O-line coach of Melissa, so she will be happy to
Offensive
hear
lineman's
that
too much
projection.
fun. Man.
Anyone want to take a?
Not
It's
so
Brett
fast.
Oh man.
Not so
said let's take it
fast,
back.
my friend.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So now both
Okay.
teams have returned a kickoff for a touchdown. Don't call it back.
Oh God, I swear.
No. Okay. No, we're celebrating. Okay. We're
Okay,
celebrating.
good.
Yeah, they're all lined up.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well, if you're gonna get back into it, that's how you do it.
The
Let's
newspaper
pay
man in
attention
me
to
is
see
just
what
worried
happens
about
this
the
next
stat box.
drive.
You're worried about the. You're worried about the deadline.
Yeah, well, not even the deadline, just keeping that stat box. You know, like the box score and stuff becomes
Do you
like
keep
longer
most
than
of yours like yourself?
I do. It's like a really bad habit of mine. Like
I don't blame you.
But at the college level, they hand you stats, and
Yeah.
they're like online.
Yeah,
and
no,
I'm
it's
still
too easy.
sitting over there like 21-4. You know.
No,
eight,
but that's what people
6.
don't realize. High school football, Texas high school football beat writers, they're keeping their own. I mean,
Man, this is
they're so-
Chase hooked us up over here.
If
Chase
you-
Parrish got us
That's awesome.
bumping it out, man.
Nice.
He is on
Excellent
it.
stuff.
If you can cover 2A
He's an NFL
sports,
statistician
Yes.
too.
3A sports, you can cover the Super
Cowboys.
Bowl, you can cover the Olympics. There's nothing harder than being a community sports editor because you're a one-man staff. You're taking photos, you're taking stats, you're doing interviews.
Yeah.
I was building my own pages. After a Taylor, I would go watch Taylor play in Madisonville, drive from Madisonville back to Taylor, put my story into the pages, take the Thrall and the Granger story as well, and design my page and get done about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, then drive home.
Shut up, Thrall.
and you're getting paid pennies. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
27.5.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing. And that's what kids like. You don't get into this business for the money. I've told.
Yeah.
I tell everyone that. I said,
But it
you
was
don't
worth
get
it
into
because
this
I
for the
never
money.
had to set an
It's
alarm.
not
and I
a-
never
have
You gotta
fun
love
here.
it.
This
is
You
our
gotta
payment.
love. Yeah, exactly.
Our payment is we
You
get
gotta
that
love
fun.
it. You gotta have
pizza.
fun with it.
Yeah, the pizza.
You got. You know what I
I'm
mean?
here, I'm here for the pizza.
Pizza's really good.
It's so
Oh,
What was the name of that place again?
Alfredo's.
Is it pizza by Alfredo's or
Alfredo's
Alfredo's Pizza Cafe?
Alfredo's in Louisville. Hello.
Yeah, they got.
All right. Well, Lindale will not go quietly into that good night. We now have 98 points scored in this game. For those who are interested in those types
I
of
almost
things.
said it at 100, but I didn't. Like when we were first doing it, I was like 100. But I mean, that would have sounded
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That seems like something you just like throw
Yeah,
out there.
and it
like
seems
bluff.
very
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, points. Right.
very attainable.
And now we're
at
one
this
score
point.
away.
Yeah.
Do you
Because
want?
I was looking at the stats beforehand, and like they both are averaging like 46 points
Yeah.
a game or something. So
You want to take a guess at the total number of yards?
Are we over 900?
is it over or under our viewership?
Ooh.
It's under our viewership.
Let's go!
All right.
Oh,
Get it.
close! Oh, Campo got it.
Man.
Number 9
good for
again.
Campo.
Yeah, I was just rooting for the funness of
Yeah,
it.
we're-
I was trying to see that 14-point theory.
Yeah, I've lost
Yeah.
it because it's like the third 14-point theory situation now. I
Isaiah
don't know what
Anderson
to
with the ball. He was the guy who had
Yeah.
the
big
yeah,
pass
yeah,
breakup in the
Andy
first
Anderson,
half, interception,
Yep.
and now
He's had a
just
big
came
game.
up with the
That big game. Here in the final.
hands team.
I think he's listed
How
as
much
like
time
a
left?
backup quarterback too.
Yeah, he is. He actually was just in on that last.
Isn't that
637,
crazy?
I believe. Yeah, 637, and it was
I think he's
969
the guy.
yards.
Isn't he? I know.
I
He's
think
nice.
he's the quarterback.
Nice.
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 969 yards total offense in this game. It's very
Wow.
They're going to
All
break
right.
1,000 here in a second.
nice. Yep.
Maybe right here.
We'll hand
Trouble.
off to Reuben Owens on the end around. Man.
It's like a wide zone, basically.
It really is. It's an end around, but basically, I appreciate they told their running back, if you have a seam,
Right.
I don't care where it is.
First hole you
Like,
see, put your foot in the ground, go.
If it's in the in the one gap, go. You know.
Coach, have you put your sneakers up on the camera yet?
Yeah, I asked for.
Yeah,
I
feel like
requested
people
that
need-
earlier. Like, come
Yeah.
on,
People
dude.
need to
Come on
see
now.
what's happening.
Ooh,
Man.
look at Teps though.
Teps
Those
come-
are pretty.
Look, I've
Ones.
got the AF ones.
I don't know. Can you see these?
Wait.
Can you see
Turn.
these?
Get the
Which one?
profile. Get the profile look.
There it is at the bottom camera.
Right.
Those are Jordan
Right.
4 Pollins.
Jordan 4 Pollins.
Hey.
Yeah.
Those
These
are.
I will say I am surrounded by two of the sneakerheads that
I didn't know that this was I didn't
I
know
respect
that
you
you were
didn't know this
a
was
sneaker guy,
going on,
or
yes.
We would have had I would have also matched,
The kids like when you wear cool sneakers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I pulled my
I should've
coolest
worn
sneakers
mine
out at the
before.
middle school track meets.
I got my Vans.
Just so I can get to know my players
Because
better.
I'm trying to be cool,
It's a
like the high
conversation
school. Do
starter.
they
They
still wear
know,
Vans?
and I'll be honest, I buy the Jordans and I don't remember what number, So a kid has to come and tell me those are the 4s, because I don't just know it off the top of my head.
See, for me, it's disposable income. When I
Yeah.
was a kid and the Jordan 4s came out when I was like 9 years
Yeah.
old, right? And I would go to my dad in the East Bay magazine.
Yeah,
and be like,
East
"Hey,
Bay."
Dad, that's what I'd like for the
East
first day of school.
Bay.
He wouldn't even answer me, right? He'd just laugh, walk out. He's not paying $120 for
sure.
sneakers.
Yeah, no, I definitely
Yeah.
had knocked
That I'm going to grow out of.
Yeah, you're going to get
And so
dirty.
now that I have my own money,
Yeah.
it's like, man, I'm going to go buy those shoes that he wouldn't buy me in
Yeah.
4th grade. Or
There you
whatever
go.
like that.
I'm still looking for my light up shoes if anyone was
See, I was
wondering.
going to say,
LA
she still
lights.
wants her light up. I remember when I
Whatever
got my
happened
first
to
pair of
Payless? They
Superstars.
don't have
Adidas
Payless
Superstars.
They don't have
That was like a
Payless.
big deal because I always had the knockoffs.
Yep.
You know what I
It's
mean?
like, yeah.
Hey, Skechers has a good light up shoe.
Oh,
Pickle.
There you go.
Like some shape ups too while I'm at it.
I don't know. They got some light ups though.
There was always a Skechers outlet in
Be
Denton,
looking
and I
at
was
the-
like, how much will you pay me to go walk through there and act like I'm real interested? Because
I love it.
I get the kicks.
I mean,
El Campo
Dan Marino
probably going to eat as
advertises well.
much clock as they can here. And the thing is, they're the type of offense that if they're up and they've got the ball, it's like, buddy, that's slow death because all they're going to do is run the ball anyway.
Well, they're just running their offense.
Exactly right. They could stick to their base offense and be like, sure, we're good.
How big is 75? I mean, look at the
Yeah,
size
look at
of the
that dude.
front guys. 75, 84.
I mean,
The Boss Hogs up front. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
Over
they're-
400 yards rushing. Ashley,
yeah. Look at
over 400 yards
Carter
rushing.
Plavinka, 6'2", 275. Again, 4A, I don't play.
Massive.
6'2".
Looks like one of the
225.
dudes you played with at
225.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
El
You know what I
Campo.
mean?
Massive.
El Campo has 485 yards of rushing.
Man.
That's nuts. They only got 38 passing yards.
Well, don't need it.
Exactly.
What we've learned is passing's overrated.
I know.
Oh, passing's overrated. Oh, great play.
Good play.
Great play.
Wow.
They
Christian
almost-
Weidman.
Who was that?
Oh, God, I wish
Christian
they would've
Weidman on the defensive play. That's a
Great,
spectacular
fantastic
defensive play.
Fantastic.
They were like,
Clay Mack would be
Greg
proud.
Tepper said
Our
passing's
man,
overrated.
our
Or
boy
what-
Clay
hold
Mack
on.
would be
Yeah,
proud.
he
Clay
would
Mack.
be.
Clay Mack.
Isaiah
Hold my
Anderson,
soda.
the quarterback right there. That was him on the tip.
That's a turn the gun sideways type.
That's a put it on film for next week play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a great point.
They will throw it, guys.
You gotta-
Watch this one.
You got to
know.
make West Columbia or
that's got the
Little
game
Cypress
plan
Mauriceville
for it,
sweat
'cause
about
it's
that.
like-
They'll spend 20 minutes on that.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
I was well, that was their second passing
you
attempt. The
can't
first
just
one
run
went
the
good,
box.
was
Like,
good from
what do you
38
do?
yards out.
To
To
Owens.
Owens,
yeah.
That's right. It's like a third down play too.
No, first drive.
Well, we were promised points. We have been given points here on the DCTF watch.
Please say it correctly.
Pointsies.
Pointsies, thank you.
Pointsies.
This gentleman's making a sandwich.
It's
Ham
not our
sandwich.
pizza. I'm just
Shout out
saying.
HEB.
It's not our Alfredo's pizza. I'm just saying.
This has been
The
good.
next slice may
Look,
need a
so we did-
microwave to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
I
one.
mean,
Okay.
Y'all got a good microwave around
would you
here,
judge
Chip?
me if I still just ate my slice anyway?
Listen. We'll have our own post-game show after
Yeah.
we go off the air.
I have
Stuff like
zero
that. Love it.
standards, Pickle.
So the first watch
Preaching to the
along.
choir.
So Pickle, you're the only one who's been here for all 3 watch-alongs.
Yes.
The first watch-along we did Dickinson and Fort Bend Ridge Point. That was the
Yes.
Bert Emanuel Jr. show. It was a lot of fun. We had that with Mike Roach and Gabe Brooks, as well as Ish in place of Mike Craven.
It's a better trade.
No, it's not. This is great.
That
That was
the
just a
second
dig. That
one,
was just a dig on Ish.
The second one was Austin. It was who was it?
Wow.
The fact you
It was an
can't even
Austin game.
remember.
Right?
No, didn't wait? You said Riley was the
Yeah,
first?
Riley Dodge and Frank Sandoval came in for it. All right. Lindale got the field.
It was Austin Vandergriff and Round Rock Cedar Ridge.
Round Rock Cedar Ridge. Thank you.
Shout out Coach Sanders at Austin Vandergrift.
Big
I
game
love
this
that
weekend.
guy.
Civil
Love
Steel,
Drew.
too. Big game this weekend.
Well, yeah,
Civil
we
Steel.
have them covered live on Football Friday
Buzzing
tomorrow.
again.
Kicks off at 7.
I'm
Break
gonna point
runner.
to her camera.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Go Buffs.
Like
Go
she
Buffs.
said.
Buffs up. So we had Cedar Ridge and Vandergrift
We'll get
with
the over.
our buddies Riley Dodge and Frank Sandoval, and now this one with El
Two
Campo
really
and
good
Lindale.
football coaches, by the
two-
way.
Two guys who know what they're talking about.
Fantastic.
Going deep, Sam Pearson, and now the third and final watch along here, El Campo and Lindale in a playoff game.
3:30 left in the
Thank you,
in the game.
Mike Craven and Erin Hartigan and Coach Marcus Shavers. This has been fun, guys.
Yeah, I
This has
appreciate
been
the
a blast.
invite.
I appreciate
This
the
has been a
invite.
blast.
Listen. You know where our office is.
Yeah.
So you can just stop by.
I just like to be on here, every one of them, just to come and be. I don't have to be on the camera.
That's
I work
fine.
behind the scenes.
We'll
just
teach
chilling
you
Dude,
to
I'm
run the
telling you,
computer.
this is
I just want the pizza
Pickle up
part.
down the computer. Yeah,
In the soda.
Is your camera even on?
Right, Aaron?
Yeah, Shavers and I'll just
Usually my
eat
camera
pizza
is
and
on,
drink soda.
but it's unplugged because we
Incomplete.
had too much stuff plugged in.
It's
So
going to
I
be
just-
third
I
and
just
10
chilled.
for Lindale. Trying to make a comeback here in the final 3 minutes of this game, but
Hey, who votes that Pickle and I have our own podcast?
I do, personally.
I'd watch
I
it.
like that there were like crickets.
I'd watch it.
Crickets. Crickets.
Tepper said the thought of you two talking even more just.
I'd watch it.
Okay, but you know what?
It'd
My
be
I
5
want to
hours long.
But I want to have guests on.
Peterson rolling. All right, first
Wait,
down.
is it only because she was in a talkathon, or because I
Both.
should have
Talk.
Or because
It's
I
because when
District
you heard
champ, put some respect
Yeah.
on the name.
District champ talkathoner.
and
Okay.
when you heard talking competition, like you lit up, like your body.
I
Like,
know, I
you were
was like-
they have
I
those?
One
sat
side.
up. It was
Like
like when you said pizza. It was like the first time I'd sat up since you said free pizza. I was like, what?
Oh,
Gab
work
out, gab
out.
out.
How did they not
Her
have
Alford
that?
again.
But
Evan Alford, rather.
we want to have guests in. Like I want to have a guest
'Cause-
on, and I want to get to know you on and off the field. Like we want to.
I'm just tired of talking to Tepper, so anyone else you can provide me with, I'm good with.
I'm not having fun.
Wait, by the way, speaking of getting to know, you still have not explained how you became a psychology major became the newspaper G
Yeah, it
in
was
Texas high school football.
I got out of college, and like a lot of young people who got out of college, I never thought past the degree. Right, like I became a psychology major because as a freshman I went to a psychology class and liked it. And was
No.
like, if I got to spend however many hours studying.
Where'd you go to school?
UTSA.
Oh, that's right.
And so yeah, I was a
Sac,
psychology
Renner
major.
Renner Spinner.
I was
How
substitute
confident
teaching,
are you? You said that last night.
and I started covering game. I think I covered at the Hutto News, and it was $25 a game. Because I knew the sports editor there. He had been the sports editor in Round Rock when I was in Cedar Park, and Round Rock was in Cedar Park's district and stuff like that. So I just started
free
covering games, and
You
then
just
the
did it for
job
fun.
came open.
Side job, fun.
Yeah, I was substitute
Oh.
teaching.
Oh, we caught it.
I didn't know what to
Short.
do.
That's awesome.
And I started doing it and was like, man, this is super easy. Like, it really felt like I can be around sports. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. There's no alarm clock to answer to, and I don't have to dress up.
You're like, where do I sign?
Man.
Where did I go wrong?
If poverty is the only thing I got to worry about, that's fine. That's fine. So
That's the best line
it was
ever.
really more of the job fit my personality more than like I had this like grandiose idea of like I want to be a writer or anything
Yeah.
like that. I just started doing it and it was like, you know what, this kind of works. This is nice. Like I don't have to go, because I was just going to teach English and coach baseball. That was kind of my goals.
Okay.
And it was like, man, I got to wake up early for that. I'll probably punch a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Because like that.
Did you play baseball? Like
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
UTSA?
No,
Oh, okay.
I wasn't that good. But
But you're still really good.
I just thought that's a lot of pressure. You know, like be a
Yeah.
coach, you got to move a lot, and you got to win, and you got to
Yeah.
deal with parents, and
Yeah.
you know, there's just so much to do there. That writing was a way to stick around sports
It's got
without
real
having to deal with
depression
any of
in
that.
here for a coach. Got to move to the parents. Like now, I kind of want to be a sports journalist.
Hey,
It's not bad, coach. It's not,
Sign me up.
you're doing it right now. This is
Yeah,
all it
this is
what
awesome.
it is.
You would be awesome.
Sit around
This is
and
awesome.
BS.
You watch football and then you like
Do y'all have
pretend to be
editors?
important enough.
Does the editor actually do the, like if you write a paper, they come in, they make sure your punctuations and all that's good?
We have 5
Yeah, what do you think I
full-time.
do?
You're the editor?
I'm an editor, yeah.
So you double
managing
check
editor.
everybody.
Yeah. I read.
Really?
Oh, interception, and that's going to do it.
Her
It-
husband makes my articles look
Decorious
much
Ward,
better
his
than
second
that.
interception.
So
Oh,
your
yeah,
husband's
No,
the
only
editor?
because he's
No,
a
he's-
perfectionist.
Yeah, he's the Graham Poobah.
Is
No,
he-
he is
is
like
editing.
a perfectionist.
Is that what he does?
He's
Edit
their
stuff?
Decorious Ward.
digital manager, but
Okay.
then he like over edits everything.
Oh, it's great. It's so
Yeah,
great.
I turned in a UTEP story and then I read the one that was published and was like, man, I'm good. I'm so good at this. Like I murdered
That's
this
awesome.
story.
He is like, but he grew up a newspaper guy. Like he was
Right. That's why I like Will because
His-
like he cares about those little things that like kind of get lost a lot in the digital age
Oh,
of stuff.
yeah.
And just real fast, speak of the devil. Pleasanton,
Speaking of it,
21-20, the final over
are
Greenville
you
Joe.
serious?
Yes.
They beat Lampasas last week,
Yep,
which was huge.
Badger, Badger,
Dylan
Badger.
Sanchez, who was a player of the week this year, right?
Also, Sock is up 28-17 on Frisco in the fourth quarter.
Let's finish, Coach Ward,
Ooh.
Coach Todd. Sock and Alito.
Sock and Alito's.
Oh my
Man,
gosh, that's gonna be great.
Swole Bees turned it on too, 35-20 over East Chambers.
Wow.
That's
Love
a
it.
big one right there.
Good one for them.
Coach, before we're off here, a thing I love to ask who was the best player you ever played against?
Man, we obviously played against a bunch of them,
Uh-oh.
but it's actually an easy answer.
John Trey Davis.
Reggie Bush.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Special.
that makes sense.
Special. My goodness.
What year was that?
Played a lot. That was my freshman year. That would have been the year that they lost to Vince Young in the national championship. It was that season. USC was loaded.
Yeah.
This
And,
is Heisman year, right? Or who
Was that his Heisman year?
Reggie
Yeah,
was
Not
Reggie.
officially.
Yeah,
Him or
because-
Liner. Right.
Officially.
Yeah, give Reggie his Heisman back.
Yeah,
Especially
man.
now that none of that's
on.
violations anymore.
I saw
Yeah, now
Reggie
that
Bush this
NIL 's a
weekend when I was
thing,
down
come
at
on.
Baylor. I got on the field at the end of the game, and there CBS was doing the big noon kickoff. Is that what they do?
Yeah, Fox, yeah.
Yeah, Fox or whoever it is. Yeah. So I saw him, Matt Leinart, Bob Stoops.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Got to see all those
Awesome.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, Reggie Bush
That was
is
like
a
a
good
Longhorn's
answer.
worst nightmare, that entire statement
7.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reggie Bush, Bob
Matt Leinart,
Stoops.
Bob
I was
Stoops.
going.
Yeah.
Texas 1-0
Yeah,
against
somewhere
Reggie
Williams
Bush,
still
Matt
not
Leinart.
okay.
It's crazy. Bob Stoops was at that game.
Yeah.
Longhorn Network doesn't
No, Longhorn Network does not forget that.
because they play it once a
that
day.
Texas 1-0 against Reggie Bush and
Yeah.
Matt Leinart.
That was, didn't Leinart win the
It just,
Heisman the year
I
before?
mean, I remember being in
Okay.
the backfield. They're like running outside zone, and I was a defensive tackle, 3 technique, and they zone, and my guy wouldn't reach me, and I'm in the backfield, so I'm like, okay, this is, you got past the guard now, and you're thinking, just keep running, and you're gonna get him, and he'd be right there, and there's nobody in between you and him, and he's as far from me to that camera. And you start closing on him, and all of a sudden, it just was, you can't explain it. He's separated from you, just like really fast, like the
Like a-
Matrix.
like a
it was
grease-
just
like-
really.
Hey, like a
it
grease
was,
pit,
it was
like
just
a grease pit, like a grease pit,
I've
right?
never seen anything like
You know
it.
what I mean?
Cut. I
Like
mean,
at the rodeo.
Timeout.
go Google the USC
Fresno
Arkansas
State.
game.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
the Fresno State cut.
the cutback was
Right.
nasty. The whole ball behind the back.
Well, I know
he was fun
Drew
to watch.
Kelson
Reggie
played
Bush.
at UT. He was a linebacker at UT on that,
Yeah.
that team or whatever. And he says he played like safety linebacker, so this may be different. He preferred to tackle Reggie Bush over Lindale White. Now that
I
could
can
be a
see
size
that.
thing,
I can
right?
see
Like he
that.
could match up with the speed with.
So I
Bush a
kind of
little
had
bit
my
better.
30 for 30 moment. If y'all ever seen the Trojan Horse 30
What
for
if
30?
I told you?
What?
Yeah. There was a 30 for 30 called the Trojan Horse. It was about that USC team. And there was a part in there where they were interviewing Lindale White, and they show a Lindale White touchdown run, and he gets into a shoving match with a player from Arkansas, number 93. It's me.
No!
It's your boy. Yeah, dead serious.
Oh my God, I want to pull
So
that
yeah,
up.
go pull it up. Pretty cool. And so, kind of funny story. Just freshman. Thought I made a tackle. I was working hard as hell, so I hit him hard and was driving him back. Little did I know he was like 3 yards in the end zone already. Right? So I was just one of those things where he was like get off of me, like it's over already.
Gosh.
And I was just trying to be macho. And anyway, yeah, 30 for 30. You kind of find it on the Lindale interview, and then it gets to the point like they show him scoring and pushing the guy and squaring up nose to nose with the guy. It's me, Arkansas, true freshman.
Damn.
265, 3 technique in the SEC. You don't think I got flat backed on some double teams?
Oh man.
Because I threatened to transfer. They tried to redshirt me. So I didn't come all the way to Arkansas to redshirt. If I was going to redshirt, I told Houston not this. And I'm not proud of it. I just think back to it now, and it's comical that I was that cocky. But I didn't come all the way to Arkansas to redshirt. If I was going to redshirt, I would have went to OU. I said that. And they didn't redshirt me, and I played probably 4 plays a game my whole freshman year, burned it. You know, it was like,
Oh man.
now it would have been good. I'd have still got my red shirt playing 4 games.
Yep.
You know.
Okay.
Damn, I'm gonna have to look that
Okay,
up.
so it's 4th down and not inch.
Power slamming Greg McElroy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We've won a lot.
Getting a shoving
Yeah,
matches
man.
with Lindale White.
Yeah. I've had some unique experiences that
I
have
feel
to
like I
share.
want let's team up and I'll write.
Yeah.
I'll ghostwrite your autobiography.
Sure.
Right.
Bam.
And it'll be called Marcus Shavers.
And you see how
Marcus
quickly
Shavers, a fight with greatness.
Yeah. I love it. I love
You
it.
see how quickly Teffer tried to get into
Yeah.
your money?
Oh, I know.
No.
Yeah. Hey, so when
love
I'm
it.
writing your
So,
book,
I'm
when I'm
gonna-
writing your
Yeah,
book,
your autobiography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Buddy, hey, listen.
It's like
all I need is
yeah.
95%.
It's a
Yeah,
fact.
that's it.
It's no big deal.
That's it. Go for it. Go for it. You'll get the whole $25 of sales, 30 cents of
Okay.
royalties.
Oh God.
Okay, so Reggie was the best player you played against.
For sure.
Best Texas high school football player you've ever seen.
Ever just seen.
Ever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh.
Kyler?
Easy.
Yeah.
Ain't even close.
Yeah.
Who have y'all seen
If you're
better?
Not, if you're not Earl Campbell
Well,
age,
Who have you seen better?
People have thrown out like Cedric Benson.
Yeah, I
People
mean,
have
it's hard to argue those
who was the
guys.
other one? Jonathan Gray,
Amazing.
Adrian Peterson.
This is the play that they.
We have a feature actually. We put together a feature at
First
we
down.
asked you actually
Ball
at
game.
coaching school. We ask coaches. We say, finish this sentence. Greatest Texas high school football player I've ever seen is, and we've actually had a number of different answers.
you asked the Allen guy, though. He's
Um,
got to say
That's
Kyler.
true. Hey, Kyler's the best I've ever. I thought it was Jonathan
The
until
truth.
Kyler came along.
okay.
Truth.
He's the best player I've ever
He
seen.
was.
I've said this before.
And the
I've
fact
said
that
this
he's
before.
still doing it.
But I've said this before.
I asked him for an interview and he told me no.
And he's not, and I want to be clear that he's not the best high school player I've ever seen. But a player that I think a lot of people forget about, I always thought when I saw Braylon Addison at Fort Bend Hightower,
Love
that kid
Yeah, man.
was special. And what I appreciate about it, El Campo's won at 56-42, advances to the area.
Congrats, El Campo.
Regional semifinals, where they were
Wow.
Coach Worrell.
Worrell.
of
Worrell.
Little
Worrell.
Cypress, Murraysville,
Worrell.
and West Columbia. What I appreciate about him, because it was very clear, like, he's their best player, so we're going to snap the ball to him every play. He always took a hit on his terms. Like, Kyler did that same thing, too. Kyler never got squared up.
Yeah.
Right? He never got driven. And,
Yeah.
and even the greatest players you've seen, they've taken some shots.
Yeah.
You know? Seems like Kyler never took, like, the big hit. And that, I think, is the real value of what he was able to. Because, look, let's be honest, he is smallish.
Yeah.
And if he had taken the wrong hit, it could have been problematic. Braylon Addison was that same way, too. It was like, he took the hit on his terms, like, oh, okay, I'm going to turn into it. And that was the first I'd ever seen of a player of, like, man, that's a special talent to be
Yeah.
able to, like, knowing that how much you mean to the team,
Yeah.
to make sure you're still on.
He was a heck of a
Who were some
football
of the other
player.
answers we got on that?
Until Kyler came around, my answer
Will
would have
Cole?
been William
See,
Cole.
Will
That
Cole.
mine would have been
William
Will Cole. I was
Cole.
about to say that. Until Kyler came around,
Yep.
Cole would have been
William
my
Cole
answer.
was another one we got answers on.
I bet our friend I bet our mutual friend Joey McGuire would say Will Cole.
I bet you would.
Will, yeah.
I bet you he would. Will Cole's a heck of a football player.
Speaking of a heck of a football player, El Campo's full of them. They're through to the regional semifinals. They will take on the winner of West Columbia and Little Cypress Murraysville.
Rice birds.
We also hit the over
Yeah.
on Mike Craven's stat line there.
Yeah. Guys, it was fun. Pickle, thank you for your courage.
Uh-huh.
Yay, Pickle. Good
Thank
job,
you.
And for the
Thank
pizza.
you, Pickle.
And
For the
most
pizza.
Oh, yeah.
importantly, for
No,
the
that's
pizza.
my real star moment here. Is I
Yeah.
bring the pizza.
Yeah, thank you
That's
for the
right.
free.
I did technically get the show going. I get the pizza.
Craven, did you have any fun?
I did. It was a good time.
Right.
It was a good time.
Coach Shavers, thank you so much for joining us.
Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me.
Come on.
Am I
Erin?
invited back?
Yes.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
That's right. For everybody here, thanks to Dre Matula and to
Trevor Bullard, Tommy Yarish, and Chase Perisher for sharing stats with us. Our whole crew down there at Texan Live, and for, of course, Jesse Wolf down
Yes.
back in Houston, making all of the action on
Rick
Texan Live
Renner
happen.
point.
Thanks
Rick
very
Renner
much. Please consider a subscription at TexanLive.com.
Wait,
We
do the
will
Rick
see you
Renner
tomorrow
point.
for Tech Football
Rick Renner
Today at
point.
noon.